Where's the cue ball going?
trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
When things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good afternoon, Bill. Good afternoon to Chris Plays Live. Don't remember seeing that name before, but anyway, welcome back to VP4 TV. We're here for a one-loss side match between Mr. Fox, fantastic Mr. Fox from England, and KrazyKow, aka VP Monster from the USA. Now, the first thing to add is that KrazyKow's here. He's been in probably most of the day, but no sign of Mr. Fox. We are about 4 minutes away from the start of this match. There was a match there was two matches. We had a disappointing match between Albinario and One Pocket Slim. It was way too one-sided. Albinario won that comfortably 3-0. Then we had a match that started later on, just about the time I was going to bed, on the one-loss side between Tommy from Germany and Wanwa from Italy. I've looked at the result. It was 3-1 to Tommy, but I don't know whether that was Tommy playing very good or whether he was just the better of two sort of ordinary players. Maybe some of the guys in the stream can tell me that later on if they appear. I don't remember seeing the name. Chris Plays Live. I don't remember. Mind you, I miss names going up in the chat. Welcome to Repetition. Welcome to Mark. Right now, the last time we had a problem like this with Mr. Fox, the problem was he had forgot the match was set and had no intention of appearing, and it's looking like that at the moment. And somebody had to get a hold of him on Facebook, whoever had his contact details on Facebook. So it might be along similar grounds as far as that goes. Just give me a sec. It's certainly no sign of him. This match, well, provided he turns up, I think this match could go either way. I think you could toss a coin. I think the vulnerability of VP Monster is his consistency in potting balls to keep a run going. And I think if he can come in and get his potting sorted out straight away, then I would put him down as slight favourite, if only because if he gets to the carom phase first, then he's probably slightly more favourite. Although we've seen some good outs from Mr. Fox when he's got to the caroms earlier on in the tournament. So that obviously remains to be seen. So now, Well, we're just knocking on the door of 5 o'clock. Just give me another second. Just need to double check. Tab out. Hang on, wrong button. Well, still no sign of Steve. If he was intended to be here, we'll check again. But now we're about to have a problem here, and that this room is about to go up in about the next 30 seconds, and we still don't have the opponent for VP Monster. At least he hasn't sneaked in the lobby while I was looking away. I don't see him, so that's the major concern for the time being, that we're going to have a match on here. But as I say, that's what happened the last time. He forgot the thing was on. The room is up, so now the countdown is on. And Mr. Fox now, from this moment forward, has 10 minutes to show up and get into this room, or we don't have a match. Another quick tab. Still no one there. Well, he's arrived now, so the room is up. We're good to go, and he should be joining any second. So we'll have the lag for the break as soon as he gets in. And of course, so important, if you win the lag, that you put a run together. We saw that in the first rack last night with Albinario and One Pocket Slim. Slim won the lag and couldn't pot the 3-ball, and then Albinario came in and ran, I think he ran 84, or certainly around about that, on his first visit, and that basically won him the first rack. Took it well away from Slim, because Slim had his opportunities during the rack to actually put some scores together, but he failed on numerous occasions. And now I've got the hiccups. Well, although he's arrived in the lobby, he's still not in the room. So he's just like, well, he's in now. So VP Monster on the right hand side of the screen. Race to 3. Alternate shot Cowboy. A pot, then a carom. Until you get to 90 exactly, and then from 90 to 100, it's caroms only, and then to get to that 101, you have to scratch off the 1-ball. So Monster's won the lag. He's going to go for his 3-reeler again off the 3-ball to nudge. Well, he's actually played a different shot there, because normally he nudges the 1-ball and banks the 3-ball around the table down to this bottom right hand corner. Sometimes he pots the 3, but it works anyway. So Monster now with a chance straight away to put on a score and ask the question to Mr. Fox as to whether he's up for it. Slim couldn't deliver last night. Let's hope both players can give us something worth watching this afternoon. Yeah, it was legit, Mark. There was two legit runs of 101. That video I've got in my YouTube channel, that's legit enough, because that's a recorded shots video that I just recorded with Aussie Mick and Yama. Aussie Mick won the lag, got the 3-ball off the break, then couldn't make the carom after it, and that was his last shot. And then before that, that match was actually before, or that rack was before he actually played. He then played Mark Shark. It was Mark Shark that told me about it when we were in playing Cowboy the other morning. And Mark Shark said, I've just played Yama, and Yama never gave him a point at all. Yama ran out 101. So he's done it twice in quick succession. Definitely legit, 100% legit. Welcome to Tyler, or good morning, depending where you are in the world. If it's East Coast, it's now gone past noon. Meanwhile, Mr. Fox comes to the table. VP Monster's run is only 24. Quick tab out for a second. Wrong bloody button again. Right, well, Steve's obviously busy, or he's forgotten all about it, and no doubt at some point he'll look around and realise the room is up and running. So that's, I mean, it wasn't an easy pot. It was a blind cutback in the 3-ball, but regardless of that, it still wasn't a good table that Mr. Fox came to. It's a question whether now VP Monster's going to capitalise on that and build up this score and get well ahead and put the pressure on him even more. Now that little nudge in the 5 has landed nice, because it could have been stone dead on top of the 5 there with no shot other than a long 3-ball. Oh, US West Coast, well that means it's what, 9 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? Because you're 8 hours behind, or it's just gone 9 AM. Well, we never got a white Christmas here, but we had a white Boxing Day. We had a bit of snow overnight, a bit of snow this morning while I was driving to work. Now it's all gone and the milder weather's arrived. So the total goes to 40. The second visit goes to 21. And the only thing really bothering him now is the fact the 3-ball, not only is it off its spot, it's the opposite end of the table. So he would like to some point get this 3-ball back down on its spot. Now you can do that now. Get rid of the 3, just up into the middle of the table for the 5-1. Well, he's left it short. He's going to have to go to the rail and in behind the 1. Now he's stuck for a pot. It's gone pear shaped. He's going to have to dig out a cut in the 3. And this time he gets it clean, no hesitation. Well, Tommy might drop in and he can give us a rundown on his match. I haven't spoke to anybody that watched that match last night, so I don't know how it really went. Welcome to Cobra. So VP Monster now. I keep calling him VP Monster because he'll revert back to that name at some point. His second visit goes to 40. So these are the type of contributions that whoever is left in this tournament, you simply have to be making contributions of this magnitude and beyond if you're going to not only contribute but apply the pressure to whoever it is you're going to be playing. If you fail to do that on too many occasions, then you're not going to last long. If you're still in the winner's side, that is. But if you're in the one-loss side, it certainly improves your chances for survival. And this is looking good for VP Monster. Keeps the 5-ball in play. Now he can be up top above the 5 to play either to the 3 or the 1. I think he might be a bit straight in the 5, which is maybe, let's have a look. Yeah, it's just a wee bit straight. But that's fine. Now, what he doesn't want to happen is the 1 ball to block him on the 3 so that he can actually pot it. And he might go to the side rail here, the left-hand side, for the 5-3. Well, he's played the 5, so he's quite comfortable here. Again, going to the rail to kick in behind the 3, I would think, or 3 to the 1, but certainly not risking bumping off the back of the 3 to go into the pocket. And I think he's finished a bit straight again on this 1 ball. Yep, absolutely bolt straight. Now he can just roll through though, and as long as he dares to go as far across as he can, he'll open up the angle. That'll do it. It's all looking good now. I hope he's paying attention to the HUD, because he's now in 89 and he needs a pot. And that 1 ball can be cheated into the pocket. Now he's looking around. Presumably he's looking to see if the 1 ball will squeeze past the 3. It is very tight. But it can be cheated into the pocket. And he's boobed straight away. Oh no, he's not. He's an 87. What am I talking about? You can tell I haven't had my dinner yet. It's just round about dinner time, but I haven't had any. Well, I have had something to eat earlier on today when I got home, but I haven't had my dinner, so that's where I'll be headed after this. I forgot he was an 87. I'm looking at what he scored, and he's on 66 of a run. And so far in this rack, we've had 2 visits by VP Monster, and both of them have counted. Now, what sort of risk is he going to take here? And that's the danger. You know, that 3 ball could have ended up anywhere. And now again, he's going to try and bump the 3. Should be a perfectly safe shot. Looks not bad. And this is looking reasonably good here. Now, how hard does he hit the 3? Because he would certainly like to bring it down the table. Again, he didn't dare hit it a bit harder than that. But he's got a possible 2-in-1 shot if he dare risk it off the 5 onto the 3 or down to the 1. So now everything's loose. So everything that he plays now is either risky with pace or just dead weight to get to the ball, so that there's no further momentum in that cue ball, and that was well done. The run is 71, the total is 95, and the run ends on 71, which is excellent. So 2 excellent contributions by VP Monster has put him in control in this first rack, and this first rack is barely 12 minutes old. And this is exactly the position you want to be in. You want to see whether your opponent's up to the task. And Mr. Fox knows that if these balls are in any kind of shape, adjacent to one another, if Monster gets back to the table, this rack will pretty much be over. And Mr. Fox still trying to get things under control here. And that isn't it. And the 5 is going to go in its spot, and he'll have a 5-3 to start him off. So that contribution only 4. And bumping the 5 ball around the corner. He's actually overhit it a bit. Just a bit too much weight on it there. Trying to get them gathered. And now he's got to watch the 5 ball if he's playing down to the 1. And how much he takes of it when he's playing the draw shot. He's playing the bailout draw, but look at the 5. And that, well, this rack's over now. He's on 98. He'll want to stay in the right hand side of the table to play the outshot off the 1. Well, now it's not quite so simple, because the 3 balls blocked him off onto the 1. Now he can bank the 3 up the table and go to the long rail on the left. Oh, he's trying to get lucky there. He's trying to chip the 1 and still catch the 3. But he'll settle for that. 4 points. Nothing lost. And he's only 2 away from sorting out this first rack. Well, one thing we've certainly not seen in this tournament, and I've certainly not seen any of the streams, is a player in this position where he's pretty much dead and buried in the first rack and putting in a run to get to the caroms. And this is Mr. Fox's chance to do that. Big ass though. Quick tab out. Yeah, Steve's obviously busy. He's forgotten all about it. Well, this will bring the 3 ball down onto its spot with the other 2 balls very adjacent. So he's no problem with the follow-up carom, but needs to be working with that 5 ball a bit more. Well, now he can get the 5 on its spot and the 3 balls handy by the 5 spot. And playing this carom here, you've just got to watch the pace that you're leaving a ball in play, and this is going to, well, it's ended up a wee bit dodgier than it possibly could here. He's going to have to play the 5, unless he's risking the thin cut in the 3, which looks like what he's geared up to do. That'll work, because I think he's got the nice little force follow onto the 1. And he's taking his eye off the HUD. He's not paying attention, and he's played out a turn. He's played a pot when he should have been playing a carom. And if he's one of these players who doesn't have his HUD on show, then he's an umpty. Simple as that. So that is definitely... And that's one thing that's so easy to bog yourself down when you're concentrating on the shots. You're not concentrating on what shot you're on. Your mind goes in a different direction, and you've got to keep glancing at the HUD before you commit yourself, so that you know that you're not going to do something like that. And this rack, well, he's back at the table. I don't know what happened there. I was too busy looking at the chat. I didn't see what happened with Monster there, but he got 1. And Mr. Fox got nothing in that one. Well, that's going to be probably as close as you can get without getting in the hole there. Now, remember what I've said before about protecting the one ball. Where that one ball is there is no good. You know, if you're starting off with a carom here, then he needs to pot the one so that he's working with it, because he can't risk missing a shot and leaving that one ball down there. Well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he hasn't really got full cover now. I think Monster's going off the rail onto the one into the pocket because he can't do the force follow. Didn't get the line on it. So Mr. Potts can pot the 5, work with the 5-3 for the carom. He's almost ran too far there. You know, he's fine. Find your love in your city. I'll do that right after this stream. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for your advice. And he's overcut the 5. And it's going to be first rack to VP Monster. So that is all over in less than 20 minutes, that first rack. And Mr. Fox, I still think he should have potted the 1, so he was working with the 1. He kept messing around, avoiding potting the 1. Tried to pot the 5, missed the 5, left the 1 sitting dangerously close to a pocket and paid the price. Oh, 5-minute interlude. I think VP Monster is, well, he's getting no response out of Mr. Fox in the chat, but I think Monster's going to take a break for a second or two.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, Mr. Fox has just said no, and he's carrying on playing. I think Mr. Fox's intention is to still be at the table before VP Monster gets back. So that was probably one of the quickest racks. Where's the cue ball going? And that was a poor shot. Well, it was a quick 5 minutes for VP Monster. He's back in play. And Fox's contribution was 0. Right, I'm tabbing out one last time. Right. He's nowhere there, so it'll be up to Steve to let me know that he's there if he comes into the room. I'm not going to tab out anymore. I'm pretty certain he said he was going to be here, but he's obviously something's cropped up. Well, I mean, it's a bit early to say this yet, but I hope this isn't going to end up like last night with Albinario in one pocket Slim, where there was nothing coming back from Slim. And Mr. Fox's future is very much in his hands. And he's not making a very good fist of it so far. And he's finally arrived in the room. Quick check. Right.
Welcome to VP4.
Green is gone.
Welcome to VP4 TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and Super Admin aka Steve Chapman, CEO and President of Sellers Team. Good luck to both players and have a good one.
You're late. Where have you been?
I'm sorry. I've been dealing with healthcare insurance, which in this country is a nightmare. So yeah, I was losing my insurance on the first, and I had to make sure that I had something in place. It was, the U.S. is the most advanced country in the world, except for health insurance, and then we're like the last. Well, I guess some places are probably worse with none, but other than having none, you couldn't be any worse than the U.S. when it comes to health insurance.
Well, the story of this match so far is the first rack was over in about 22 minutes. We had two significant visits from VP Monster, and nothing from Mr. Fox, and nothing at the start of this rack either. And it's not looking good for him because Monster settled right in.
I see a comment in the room chat. Nice leave again from Mr. Fox, which sounds like he might be getting a little frustrated, which, I'll tell you what, you got to stay out of that mode, because that mode is death. That mode is when you start thinking that way, you're done.
Well, I hate to say it, but I said it yesterday when the match was about to start with Slim and Albinario. I said Albinario had been putting in a fair bit of practice in a room on his own a couple of days before, and Slim just showed up to start playing. Now, with the room actually up, the room was actually up. Mr. Fox finally arrived, so he fancies his chances at just warming up while he comes into the room. Well, now he's found out the hard way that the first rack's been and gone, and he hasn't blinked an eye.
Yeah, and he already thinks things are going against him, which is like a death thing. I told you what I do when people say, "Oh, that pocket's really tough." I just encourage it. Oh yeah, I don't like shooting at that pocket. I think that's terrible.
Yeah.
There's another thing I do to people too that start into with this stuff. Guys that get upset when you get a roll.
Yeah.
There's some people that can't stand when you get lucky. So when I get a guy like that, what I do is you say, like, here's a shot that you normally play, like, 2-rail shape, and I'll play like 3 or 4-rail shape, and be like, I'll pretend I'm upset, like I lost the cue ball, and it rolls out perfect and stuff, and I shoot shot that's look like they're lucky, or I'll shoot a bank shot and play a double bank instead of a bank, and it'll double bank, and I think I was trying to single bank it, and it's like it'll drive them crazy. They have no chance. They cannot win because they've already got it going, and then you just feed it, and they blow up. I mean, they can't win. So, if you got to understand, there's people in this world like me that are going to do that to you, and And the thing is you're really doing it to yourself. All I do is feed it.
Well, it is. I mean, it's like
Watch out.
it's like John Wayne says. It's a sign of weakness.
It's
If you
a sign of weakness.
as soon as you start, either giving verbals to your situation or, in this case, typing anything in the chat, that's you immediately letting the guy do more things to get inside your head.
Sure. And excuses are another sign of weakness. People love to make excuses. And all an excuse is a sign of weakness. I love people that make excuses. Yeah. I don't make any excuses. I mean, if I dog and lose, and that's just the way it is. I'm not going to make excuses about it. And I'm not going to complain when somebody gets lucky. I mean, it's part of the game. I mean, I might mention it, but it's tough when you play a game where, you don't miss a ball, and obviously the other guy's playing really good. Maybe he's missed one ball and end up losing when it's hill on a roll. That's a tough one to swallow because you've played great, but it's just the way the game is. It's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do about it. You got to take your lumps.
Well, Mr. Fox's first visit, he couldn't cut the one in. That ended in 0. So this is his second opportunity. And again, he's got the first target of getting rid of that deficit. So he's immediately under pressure to get rid of that. And, nothing counts until he gets rid of that 33-point deficit or whatever it is.
Well, he needs to do something now. I mean, he needs to get out of his funk and get his head on straight and do something. He's certainly capable. Yeah, I'll tell you something else. Talking about mind games, and you've got to be bulletproof because I'll tell you the story of 2 reactions to something. Let's say you're playing somebody and they drop their cue accidentally, or they stand up and their change jingles, or something happens and you get distracted and you miss the ball. Okay. Here's my thought on this. It happened. So what? You just let it go. And here's why. I've seen people, they get all upset because something happens. They think somebody's trying to shark them. But the thing is what really gets them upset wasn't the fact that they got sharked. It's the guy's motivation. And this is something, I see all the time with players is, it's integrity or it's this or that. None of that stuff matters. And the reason why is that here you are getting upset because you think the guy did something to you on purpose. Mm-hmm. But the reality of it is, maybe he really did accidentally drop his cue or his change rattled or something, and he didn't try to do it to you. And you've gone and got yourself all upset, and you lose the match, and you just did that to yourself because you're all worried about whether somebody's doing something on purpose or not. And the reality of it is it doesn't matter whether it was on purpose. You were distracted, and you dogged it, and you just got to get over it. But most people aren't like that way, or most people that haven't competed at a high level aren't that way. They're going to try to, make something out of it. And that's all you're doing is hurting yourself. Yeah. So you got to learn to be bulletproof mentally. You just got to learn to not pay attention to that stuff. And that's, with people like Stubb, it's like people let Stubb get to them. And they let them get in their heads, and, they're going to blame it on Stubb. But, the reality of it is you've got to take responsibility for that. It's your fault that you're letting it get to you. Yeah, it's not Stubb's fault.
The simple thing is that, everybody can mute one another. I mean, VP4 is not a problem because everybody can mute everybody. Anybody that they want, particularly the guy that they're playing in a room. If it's in a tournament and if it was Stubb, you can mute him. And that way, but, some folk enjoy winding Stubb up. But to to put yourself in a position where you're letting him bother you. And I think, no, not naming names, but some folk let themselves get bothered by him, even though they're not even playing him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the main thing is you don't want to get distracted, because that's what hurts your game is distractions. And the worst kind of distraction is where you distract yourself. I mean, I was an expert at distracting myself. I mean, I had a friend that was a champion, and he says to me one day, I was all worried about how I'm playing. He goes, you're distracting yourself thinking that way. You're worried about how you're playing, and you're distracting yourself. Oh, that was close. And
run a 42.
He says to me, you got to stop doing that, and you just got to calm down and not worry about how you're playing. And I started doing that, and I had like 4 top 5 finishes in a row in the hard times tournament, which, you're talking about 10 or 12 pros playing in that tournament, and
tough
a
tables.
lot of super strong players. And that's all I did was stop distracting myself based on what he told me is, like, he was right. And you just, you gotta work on stuff mentally. You can't let that stuff get to you. And it's hard.
Yeah, well,
it really is hard.
That's why if I'm playing, and I don't play many tournaments, but I had, who is it was playing in the league? I can't remember, but whoever it was that was playing, he was one of these guys that wants to be nice and he wants to chat to you. Well, he's picked the wrong person to chat to, because I told him straight away, I says, I don't say anything while I'm playing, and that was the end of that conversation. That shut him up. Because I don't get into this backward and forward, stopping what I'm doing to then type something and then go back to what I'm supposed to be doing. That distracts me.
That's the right thing to do, is just let them know. It's not impolite or anything. You're just letting them know. I don't feel like chatting.
No, I very rarely ever chat if I'm in a tournament. I don't even apologise either. That's another thing I don't do. None of this sorry bullshit because you flipped the ball. None of that. It's all part of the game, because it goes against you as well as for you.
I remember when I was younger, I had a good friend who, he wasn't, he's just a casual pool player and stuff, but he hung out in the pool room a lot. He says to me one day, he goes, why aren't you more friendly to people? He says, when you're playing people, it's like, you're not very friendly. And I said to him, I go, the only thing I want to do with somebody I'm playing is take all of their money and send them home broke.
Beat the shit out of them. Yep, of course. And he
just shook his head.
He might have said, "What the hell's this guy on about?" But no, that's exactly what it is. You just want to beat them to death. Short of beating the queue over the head, but you just want to beat the guy until he's into the ground.
You're getting in a shark tank with most of these guys. If you're not a shark, you're going to be eaten. That's just the way it's going to go. I see the comments, Americans don't have good old English sense of fair play. Well, let me tell you something. Those English guys that are great players, they're just as cutthroat as all the Americans. They may be more polite sometimes, but they are cutthroat.
I mean, you look at these pros playing in a lot of these tournaments. The bit that bugs me about watching, streams from the States, you've got all this bloody crap disco music going on in the background, and maybe 20 or 30 tables. So you've got all the noise of all the tables going on round about you, and you're focusing on what you're doing, but yet you've got somebody making announcements over the tannoy. You've got music blaring out. Jesus, I couldn't handle that.
Oh, that's nothing. Watch some of the matches in the Philippines. You've got people, five people deep standing around the table, and they're standing 5 feet away from the table. I mean, it's crazy, some of these matches in the Philippines. And then you realize, well, this is one of the reasons why the Filipinos never get distracted by anything.
Well,
These are the conditions they're playing in. You know, didn't I send you the video of the guys playing with the dogs barking and the roosters crowing, and it was like just like a patio cover thing, all open on the sides out in the countryside.
No. You get buses,
Oh, yeah.
you get buses in traffic and everything going past in some of those places.
Oh, it's just like crazy, you know. Well,
Well-
I'll tell you something. Repetition. I'll tell you a story. You want to talk about, craziness. I'm watching Keith McCready play, which I don't know if you guys know who Keith McCready is, but he's a very famous player. I mean, I knew Keith. He grew up in Los Angeles. Great player. And he had a mouth on him. So he's playing this guy. He's giving him the 8-ball. And he's got him stuck 5,000. So he's walking around the table and he's chalking his cue, and he walks over the guy's sitting down, and he says to the guy, "How do you like it now?" I mean, that's the way Keith was. He was like that all the time. You know, now to give you an idea who Keith McCready is, because all you guys know him, whether you recognize the name or not, is if you watch The Color of Money, Tom Cruise's main opponent, whose name in the movie was Grady, that was Keith McCready.
Was it Grady Seasons, wasn't it?
Yeah, and when he's walking around the table and he says to Tom Cruise, he goes, "This is a nightmare, isn't it?"
Uh-huh.
That is exactly the way Keith was in real life. That's the kind of stuff that he said to people. I mean, that he might have even written a line for him. I mean, that's not something that was like...
It probably was unscripted.
That's the way the guy was. I mean, he was just... Yeah, he was something else. And he's famous. He's probably in the Hall of Fame. I haven't looked, but he's probably in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's one of the most famous players ever in this country.
I wonder many people have seen The Color of Money but haven't seen the original film. I'm just wondering that. Repetition's talking
You're
about...
talking about they haven't seen The Hustler?
Yeah, The Hustler, yeah. You've not seen that.
You got to watch The Hustler. That's a great movie. I actually like The Hustler better than The Color of Money.
Yeah, I mean, I just love The Hustler because Jackie Gleason's in it. I just like it because he's in it.
Well, this is not looking good for Mr. Fox.
Well, he had his chance. He'd have run a 42, but
as soon as you say that, he misses a. Boy, that was a duck there.
The old commentator's curse.
Commentator cursed him.
Well, there's a chance to get to 90 here. He's still in this if he can put something together here in this visit. It ain't over this rack, but he has to get to 90.
Yeah, he's absolutely got to get to at least 90. Yeah, pool's not the way it was, I mean, pool is a lot different in this country. You guys have no idea. I mean, the American players now are, they're a lot nicer, a lot less likely to do anything really bad than, you wouldn't believe the way it was 50, 60 years ago here. Now there's a reason why pool rooms have bad reputations, and it was fairly well deserved.
Well, he's funny here again on this one ball.
Yes, and he missed the ball.
And
I think he's going to be done. He's going to be done.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, now the question is the one across the line? And I don't think it is. It doesn't look like it is.
Nope, it's in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, I thought Fox was the underdog in this, but I didn't think it was going to go this way. And this is kind of like the match yesterday with Albin and Slim. I thought Albin was a little bit more of a favorite, but I didn't think it was going to go that way for Slim.
Well, he's going to come out with it. If you actually criticise Mr. Fox in chat and say to him, look, well, But that's what you get for turning up, 2 minutes after the match has started and expected to come to the table and lay down the odds. And he's probably going to come back and say, well, it's not that important. Well, that's no excuse to me. I mean, if you're in a tournament, this isn't life or death, and that's the type of excuse he would give. But you've still got to apply yourself that you're going to put in a little bit of table time, get a bit of practice and preparation for it. And it's taken a similar scenario to last night. The two players that did take time to get themselves set are the ones that have been able to score.
See, that shot there, that shot there, he shot that the right way, going behind it 2 rails. I see a lot of players in this, they'll try to go directly to that ball.
Oh.
Yeah, he's missed a couple fairly easy hits, though. And that, see, I understand being a little thin on the one ball there because there's a pocket there. So that's the right play. But if you're going to be a little thin, you should be loading that up with a lot of English because he missed it on the short side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like he said, well, I'm going to make sure I don't hit this too thick, but then he didn't load it up with English like he needed to.
And this is no great shape here. He's trying to get a line that probably wasn't really there.
Well, this is brutal because if he can see...
Yeah, he can.
Yeah. You got to be a little careful here with this one because you can scratch off that 5 ball. You got to hit this easy.
Well, I think if he hits the one thick and just drops onto the 5...
Yeah, that's what he needs to do is hit it thick and just roll it.
Yeah,
roll it so it just bumps it.
Well, he's putting left English on this. Oh no, he's gone to the 3 ball. I think he was totally scared of the 5 ball. But to me, you hit the 1 ball thick and you drop onto the 5.
Yeah, as long as the cue ball doesn't have speed when it hits the 5, it's not going to scratch. But instead, he played from the 3 to the tip.
Well, Tom's got bored with the stream. He's decided to get into the room. Who did I miss in the chat? Traveling TT arrived.
Where's Semi-Pro when you need him?
Yeah, he's probably getting stuff in for the new year, probably.
Should I bag on Semi-Pro while he's gone?
I wonder what the excuses were from Wanmer last night, because I know he likes to verbalise in the chat about how things are going against him. Nobody's been in the stream to tell me how that match went last night. Tommy won it 3-1.
They played last night?
Yeah.
Well, I think Tommy was a pretty big favorite in that match.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't know how, whether Tommy was playing really good or whether it was just close racks and Tommy got the job done more often than not. Well, obviously he did, but
Tommy's pretty solid. He's another one of these players that if he watched that Yama Gucci-Tero and sort of learn how to do that half ball hit or something, I mean, Tommy goes all of a sudden from a guy that's maybe a top 4 finisher to a guy that could win this. Because let's face it, I mean, Tommy pockets balls well and he moves the cue ball okay. But he's not going to beat Albin or Cobra in those areas. So he has to beat them in the carom areas. And he could do that if he learned to play better caroms. Because that's a weakness for both Cobra and Albin is their carom games. And the thing is that both those guys are getting better at it as this tournament goes on.
He needs to get out into the table here. No, he's going 5-1. I thought he was going to go up top there for the 5-3, because the 3's a bigger target where it is, but he should be fine.
This is looking like last chance saloon here.
Well, he's simply got to get to 90 here. Anything short of that's no use. It's rack over.
And this is kind of like the match yesterday. If he gets down 2-0, it's going to be very difficult for him to win. I just, Yeah,
he might end up loosening up too much, and then he just gets picked off by Monster.
Well, the thing is you've got to play 3 really good games in a row, and that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Is he capable of running a 90 or something? Yeah, sure. I mean, he's capable of playing really good, but can he play really good 3 games? And that because you got to figure KrazyKow is gonna not play 3 bad games.
Well, that's why I've said, when he was way down in that first rack, we've not seen anybody. I've not seen a match where anybody's come back from a big deficit and got into the caroms and pinched a rack. I've not seen that yet, but every player that's left in this tournament has to be capable of doing that.
That was a smart shot there, playing shape off that carom for the 1 ball. That was a very smart shot.
That's 89, so he'll be in 90, but he's not going to be in great shape for another carom here, the way this is going.
Make sure he doesn't make the 5 ball. Well, if he just brushes this 3, I think he'll be okay.
Well, you see, I'd be more inclined to play the force follow off the 3 to get the 3 down by the 1.
Yeah, that's a little harder to control. It's probably easier to hit, though.
Well,
he didn't hit it very hard.
Yeah, now he's got to do a recovery shot, and this is where the run will end. He's not great.
Not necessarily. I mean, you got to watch the bank in the 3. If you're going to stun the 3, you got to watch the bank shot. That's what you got to avoid is banking the 3 into the corner.
Well, it looks as if he's drawn to the 1. No, he's drawn to the 5.
Drawn to the 5, and he's not hitting it.
And it's an easy 5 to the 3 for 99.
And I think it's a thin hit, but when you're this close to the 5 ball and the 3 ball's that big, I mean, it's pretty hard to miss this. And go either way. I'd probably go from the 3 to the 5 myself.
He's looking at coming back to the 5, but I think he's looking to see where the 5 is going when he hits it. I think that's what he's worried about.
Well, the problem is that if you hit it easy.
Well,
he's giving himself a chance. It's not the easiest shot, but he's got a chance here.
Top left-hand corner.
Let's see. I can't remember. Are you allowed to make the 1 ball when you do this?
Oh, yes. So the 1 ball can go in as long as the cue ball goes in.
I was going to say that's almost a shot where you can try to make the 1 ball.
So now Mr. Fox has to protect, and he didn't do it in the first rack. That's what Mr. Fox tried to do it in 1 shot, and then he went to try and score points. The 1 ball was near the corner pocket, and it was a gimme in the end for Monster in the first rack. So where the 1 ball is now is no good.
No, if he's going to play, if he's going to play to the 1 ball here, if he keeps playing to the 1 ball, and as soon as he misses it, he's going to be done. And he's going to play to it again.
Well, now would be ideal to get that. I'm forgetting he's 92, isn't he? Well, he could play a 2 and 1 off the 3 ball to get to the 5 or the 1. But the danger is he's got to leave the 1 safe and get the hit anyway.
Well, he got it. And now he's funny. He's probably going to have to thin the 3. Nope, he's going the other way. Oh, he's playing safe. And he didn't get there.
That's a fail.
Yeah.
Now, this 1 ball can go out the way and the force follow is on, so I'm expecting to get this.
See, those little kind of dink safes, if you play a lot of 8 ball, those comes up a lot. If you play 1 pocket, those comes up a lot. It's like, those aren't hard safeties, but if you haven't played them a lot, then it's real easy to do what he did. A guy that's played those safeties a lot is going to, get safe on that every time.
So 2-0. That's the more conventional break-off shot for not Mr. Fox, Monster.
This is not looking good for Fox. He's going to need to find something. Because somebody said earlier, KrazyKow's been on a mission or something like that after that loss. And that, that's really true.
Well, it certainly focuses the mind, because you know that you've got to get right in there, score, and mean business, because there's no second chances now. You just got to get it done.
Yeah, he's basically. I think he's basically done here. I mean, never say never. If I was Mr. Fox playing this match, I still think I could win. But as a commentator, I'm going to say he can't. There's a chance, of course, but I think it's pretty close to nil.
Once again, Monster's got a target here. He's got to get this one ball in play fairly soon. And again, he's caught out by the pot. He can't get rid of this potting bug. He's still got it.
Yeah, he's got to get that figured out if he wants to beat the better players. Well, let's see if Fox can get something going. I mean, the great thing about being in this position is then, now you've got a chance for epic comeback. A lot of it is attitude on things. Like if you get a really difficult shot, guy rolls, misses a ball, and you end up with a really tough shot. Instead of complaining about it, you can get excited about the opportunity to pull off some fantastic shot.
Well,
it's really like that. With this kind of situation, is Fox has got to get fired up about having a great comeback and win.
Well, he's doing that with his positional play there, because he had to pull off a carom there, running the cue ball. The run ends in 3, I think it was. And, well, now there's a perfect chance. Pot the 3, bump the 5 and 1, get it into play.
Yeah, it's, you got to figure KrazyKow is going to run a lot of.
Oh, dear. There we go again. Unbelievable.
It's, that ball actually looked like it might have turned, like he didn't have his Q-tip in the right spot. I think he might have turned that ball a little.
No, it wouldn't surprise me, because I think he's trying to. I said to him the other day, I said, look, you look at the pot, you see it, and you go with your instinct and you pot the ball. But I think maybe he's trying that, but he's not really setting the cue up first before he does play the pot.
Yeah, I mean, that's why pool in real life is so much harder than VP, because in real life, it's really easy to turn the cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
And in VP, it's hard to, because, you have such control over the Q-tip. And the biggest problem in real life is the release, because especially if we're up high on the cue ball, putting English on it, if your tip dives at all, it's going to turn the cue ball. So the shot that comes up a lot is like, let's say you're doing a hard force follow with English, okay? That's a shot, players tend to grab the cue, when they're hitting it hard. And if you grab on that shot, the tip's going to go down, and it doesn't have to go down much. I mean, it could be like a 1/4 inch, and that cue ball is going to turn so fast because it presses the cue ball into the cloth.
Look at where he's left himself here. Absolutely nothing but a really thin cut in the 3.
Oh, that's not a bad shot. He's not going to miss that. And or another situation is, let's say you're on the rail. Let's say you got to go around two rails on the rail, and you're hitting, you're right up against the rail, and you're putting English on it. That's another one. Good players can shoot those shots.
Well, this is actually the first time I'm pretty positive in saying this, that Mr. Fox has actually been in front in any rack so far, albeit a slender lead.
KrazyKow is doing his Albinario impression right now, where he's.
Where's this cue ball finishing? He's going behind it. He's again having to dig out another one of these long force follows.
Yeah, or he could go backwards. He's going to go forwards. Yeah, he's got it. you got to have the killer instinct. Once you get your foot on the guy's neck, you got to keep him down.
Well, he's got to pot the 5 here and get out and below or above the 5 for the 5-3.
Yeah, the really dangerous thing is when you got a player like Fox, who's a pretty capable player, is if you let him get encouraged and you let him get going, all of a sudden now you may have to play to win games. The way things were going, KrazyKow didn't have to necessarily play his best.
That was awful. We've got to see that again. Look at the pace that he played this at.
Shot.
I mean,
well, he got lucky.
Unbelievable. Because I'm not certain he played that though. So the run is 36.
Yeah, Fox needs to put him on it here. He needs to run like, at least 60, preferably more.
Down below or above the 3 if you're looking from our end. Now he hasn't gone dead straight, has he? I think he has. Or has he? Yeah, that's no good.
One critical thing is you got to make guys feel like they can lose. They're not going to feel any pressure until they feel like they can lose.
Well, there's the run. Ends on 40. Again, got himself in the dead straight line, which is the no-no in Cowboy for the force follow. So a little draw with the open table. So now the shoe's in the other foot for a little while here, where Monster has to clear the board and get another 25 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he needs to put his foot down and end this thing.
Welcome to Brain Fill Out.
Well, it's not over IQ2, but
welcome to Dwight. I never noticed you there.
It's not looking particularly good to.
He's just arrived.
Fox right now.
Little bit double kiss, Karam.
Well, I don't like that shot, but.
Well, if you're dead straight on it, there's no way you're going to miss it because the cue ball can only go one direction, straight back from where it came. This is a reasonable setup here. He's played the 5 nice and firm, just to not the 5, the 3 to get it out into the table. So now he's set either the 5 ball onto the spot for 5-3 or the 3 ball for the 3-5, whatever suits him. You're always giving yourself that choice.
Well, he's good at setting himself up like on this 5 ball where he's just bump and then shoot the 5, bump and then shoot the 5.
Yeah, and of course, using the 5 ball, the points rack up a lot quicker than messing about with that 1 and 3 for 10 minutes and scoring 12 points. He's overcut it again. Unbelievable.
He's just or semi-pro when you need him. He needs semi-pro's practice drills.
Right, well, that run was 21 and he's still trailing Fox, so Fox is getting that little bit of encouragement in this rack. He's got to follow it up though. He can't think, Monster's missing things now. I've just got to hang in there. He's got to be proactive and capitalise on this and put another 40 together and get to 90.
Yeah, I agree. He's got to put the pedal down and go, because
he's got to make some sort of statement that he's going to contribute and he's going to apply the pressure, because he knows that if it's a race to the carom stage, then Monster's going to be the favourite in the caroms.
Ideally, he needs to discourage KrazyKow. And if you can get the guy discouraged, then and the thing about that whole mental thing is if you're playing somebody that's a really good player, I mean, a really good player. I'm not sure we have anybody like this in VP. Maybe Albin and Cobra are a little bit like this, but in real life, when you play, these great players, you will never discourage them.
No.
You can get up there and you can run a 6-pack on them. They will not be discouraged. Now, you may make them realize that they could lose to you. And that's really critical, that if you can make them realize that they could lose to you, and there goes another miss, then you've got a chance, because they'll feel a little pressure, but they're never going to get discouraged. But from what I've seen, most of these guys on VP, you can get them discouraged where, they start feeling unhappy. And if you can get that going, then that's how you can come back from this 2-0 in the race to 3.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, the way to make the statement there, though, Steve, was the fact that Monster had missed the cut in the 5 into the side, and there's nothing better to let the guy keep thinking about that cut in the side than for you to run up, like a 50 run and get to 90. That makes the guy think about that 5 ball into the side even more. He's thinking all of these points are mine if I hadn't missed that 5 ball, but Fox just can't get it done.
Well, Fox is getting chance after chance.
Here we go again.
And this is a little bit right now like the whole match with Albin. Is Slim got a lot of chances. Albin did not play a great match.
Yeah.
He played a good match, but not a great match.
And
but Slim just couldn't get anything going.
This is what's been disappointing with last night, and the way this is going, where there's nothing coming back, and from players. Well, okay, Slim doesn't play Cowboy, but there's no excuse here. Mr. Fox knows how to play Cowboy, and he ain't delivering the goods. He ain't playing like he's a player that's going to go right to the wire here in this tournament and be in the final, because he ain't scoring. And the only player that's got that consistency, and the bad news for everybody else is Cobra. He's the one that's got that consistency. He has scored regularly in all of his matches. Okay, he's maybe struggled with the odd carom or two, but we'll give him the benefit of that doubt because he doesn't play the game, or he hasn't played it till this tournament. But there's nobody else left in this tournament that's scoring as consistently. Albinario's, scoring given the chance, but I still think it's going to be a Cobra Albinario final, even though one of them's going to lose. I still think it's going to be the pair of them in the final, because there's nothing that I'm seeing that's leading me to think, well, one of these guys here's going to cause problems. It's
if KrazyKow can figure out how not to miss balls, I think he's got a chance.
See, that's where his consistency's been let down throughout the tournament. Had he been, racking these pots up, his runs would have been still a lot more consistent. That's the thing that's his Achilles heel in this tournament. And at the end of it is going to be his downfall in the end, I think, if he doesn't get it fixed.
That was a nice shot. That was not the shot you wanted to be shooting, the one he just had to shoot at. Oh, he had a carom, so he didn't get it. Did he have a carom? Did he get the carom? What am I doing?
Yeah, he was on a pot. He's never on a carom.
He was on a pot. Okay, well, that was a heck of a pot.
Well, 3 balls still in play. And I think I know what I'd be doing straight away here. I'd be making sure, well, maybe he's a bit straight in the 3 ball. That's the problem. See, this is dodgy to control.
It doesn't matter if you're straight on the 3 ball.
Well, I think I'd be picked. See, he's putting loads of spin in this to try and get over to the left side. That's what I'd be trying, to get down below so I could bump that 5 out. But he's now...
Well, he's
got the force follow, but he'll be fine
because
3 ball goes out the way.
Well, and he's a little fortunate there. He could have got really funny.
Yeah, he could have been behind the 5, dead straight in the 1. But
if he was behind the 5, he'd have the 3.
He's looking good now to get to 90. Dare we say it? Have we tempted fate?
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a huge game because coming back from 2-1 looks a lot easier than coming back from 2-0. And he misses a pretty simple carom there.
Well,
boy, we jinxed him again.
Well,
I don't blame that one on you with your he's going to get to 90.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You know, that's what you have to be. You know, you got to be aiming for 90. He was only what 19 away from it, and it was imperative that he got to 90 and get into the cards before Monster does to have a chance in pinching a rack back in this match.
Well, I think KrazyKow needs to buckle up and stop missing balls. That's what it's going to come down to here. I mean, it's just, and this is not really the shot you want to have when you're having trouble making balls. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but, he did not want to hit the 3 ball that full.
Yeah, he's pretty straight in this.
Not that you should miss this shot, but he's just struggled with it.
Yeah.
And now, why did he hit it so hard? I don't get that.
Because he was straight, but what he was trying to do was go forward and come around the jaws and out with the cue ball.
You know what? Just make the ball. If you have to do a 2 or 3 railer on the carom, make sure you make the ball. When you're struggling like this, hit it at less speed so the pocket's bigger. And that's the thing is, you've got to get yourself rolling. He needs to see some balls actually go in the hole.
Well,
so KrazyKow's gone goofy, and it didn't take much. Fox has not really done a lot, but he's done enough that KrazyKow has now gone goofy on him. And, Fox just needs to finish this game off, and maybe this whole dynamic in this match is going to change.
I'd be more inclined to go 3 to the 5. That'll still do it. 5 to the 1 next. This will take him to 87.
Uh-oh.
And
now he's not any good.
Here we go again.
Yeah, that's the problem with playing for that straight in thing. You should play further over so you can play the 5 to the 1 from the angle. This trying to play shape for the follow is just a huge mistake because
he's going bottom left
to spin like this.
He could spin right in behind the 3 with this shot. He's changing it.
The 3 is a pretty big ball. He's going to go to the side rail, it looks like. I like going to the end rail better.
He's coming this way. And he still found a way behind it.
Yeah, it's, but, it all starts with, I don't know if he was playing shape to get the follow, but if he was, I think that's the wrong move.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
you got tons of room on the other side of that ball where you're always going to have a shot.
That's what I'm saying. When you're playing above or below, the guy should know what I'm talking about now, whether you're above the 3 or below the 1. If you're playing above the 3 or below the 1, then you need to leave it short on the left or right side. So you've got a sight of the 5 or the 1.
Here we go again, leaving himself a shot that he doesn't want. Now you got to just roll this. Don't go get crazy with anything. Roll the ball, make the pocket big.
Yeah, if you roll it in, you're going over to the right. You've got a 1 to the 5, and the 5's a big target. He's playing to stunt things and get the cue ball out. You've got to take the medicine.
Yeah, he's just slamming balls. You just got to roll that ball.
Even if the cue ball finished, maybe 6 inches from the rail, he still had a shot from the 1 to the 5 that wasn't difficult.
Sure. And the thing is look where he ended up. He ended up there anyways. I mean,
yeah.
That's the thing that drives me crazy watching guys is I watch them do the same thing over and over and over again. That is the wrong thing to do. You got to roll that ball. The pocket's so much bigger when you roll that ball.
Well, this is the scenario that eventually we've arrived at. Mr. Fox has a decent enough lead. He's in the caroms. He's hoping to hit this Well, you see, he should be going 5-1 here.
You can't miss this. This is a half ball hit.
Yeah,
this shot cannot be missed.
Yeah, but he's got to push the one up the table. See, he's hit the one the wrong side. You know, you've got to be able to see that part of the shot so that you're pushing the one up towards the 3.
Yeah, you got to understand the speed. I mean, that shot, it was mostly speed, because if he went thicker, it wasn't going to change the angle, and if he went thinner, it wasn't going to change the angle. That shot, if you wanted to hit it thicker, you had to hit it with a little more speed.
Well, now he's going to probably draw from the 1 to the 5.
So you know what I'm saying, Hugh? So like with a half ball hit, if you look at it, if you go thicker or you go thinner, you know, it's going to stay about the same, but it's going to gently thin out. Okay. So he went with about a half ball hit. That's the max he's going to get that angle to come out. So if he wants to come out a little more, he's just got to put a little more speed on it. And, you know, a little more speed and he hits that ball dead on.
Well, I don't know that 93 is good enough in terms of where I mean, the visit was 6. If Monster can get to 90, Fox might have played his last shot there.
Well, let's see if he slams this one. I mean, I just don't get why he's hitting it that hard.
Now, again, he didn't take his time there and set himself, jack himself up a little bit.
No, he's gone goofy. Now he's just slamming balls. He's gone goofy. I mean, this match should be over, and it's not because KrazyKow's gone goofy.
This one ball has to get out of the way if he's... Yeah. And that's a big fail. I mean, he's lined himself up there to try and get the force follow and potted the 1. I mean, that's a numpty shot. In fact, that's one of them.
Fox is getting all the chances in the world here, and you know, obviously he needs to win this game. I'll be Captain Obvious. Well, he keeps the table open.
Yeah, the only thing is he's got a thin cut, but the cue ball's running loose.
Yeah, he's okay.
Well, this is a bit dodgy. He's going to have to stun this.
Yeah, this isn't a bad shot. I mean,
he hasn't stunned it. You see, he's scared there of playing the numpty shot. The numpty shot is catching half ball in the 3 with a bit of pace and scratching.
Yeah, I think on that kind of shot, you got to make sure you hit the 3 ball. You know, if you scratch, so be it. But you can't afford to do that.
He's lost his discipline here a bit, Monster. You know, he's not. When I say lost his discipline, he's not thinking about the shot enough. And I mean, the one where he was on the rail there, he needed to jack up a bit to get into the cue ball a little bit to get the control. That one there, he needed to stun it, and he didn't.
He's gone goofy here. Get with the terminology. Yeah. He's gone goofy. And it's like it's the worst feeling in the world when it happens to you. I've had it happen to me a lot of times.
Yeah, the thing is though, but how long do you keep going goofy, Steve? When does the penny drop? When does it sink in?
Well,
that you're doing stupid stuff here.
That's why the way you think is so important, because if you feed it, you're not going to get out of it. You know, you can feed it and it just, you know, you're in the trap and you just keep feeding it. You got to think in a way that's going to, you know, get you out of that trap.
This needs to slow up, and it hasn't. And he's now going to have to dig out another pot here, another shot. Welcome to Rob.
Yeah, this is. I would be playing off the 5 here. I think I don't. You know, boy, I don't like this.
I wish I had my lines with this, but I know what I'd be doing. I'd be going really thin off the 1, try to go tight into the corner, come around, and if I miss the 3, I'm down to hit the 5. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be going really thin on the 1, and that's going to catch the knuckle. I mean, am I just being a genius when I see that shot and he sees that other shot? I mean, to me, really thin in the 1 with left English and try and get right into the corner and round the angle sharp. If you miss the hit there, you're coming down, to possibly hit the 5. A 2-in-1 shot.
Afternoon to Robert, and I agree with you, Tim. I would have played off the 5 too.
See, I'm just the type of guy that's willing to take those shots on. I mean, yes, they don't work all the time, but they're bloody good when they do work. Well, I hate to say it, but Mr. Fox is still stuck there in 93, and Monster comes even closer.
Well, he's got himself a little funny here, but I think he'll go 2 rails.
Yeah, got to go 2 rails.
I mean, that's with a 5 ball there. It's such an easy hit. Now he's going to pot the 5 and get him to 86, right? No, he's so scared he's not going to shoot the 5. He's just so scared of shooting. He's going to shoot the 1.
Yeah, because the 5's a little bit of a cutback.
Yeah, and he has no confidence at all.
He needs to see the gaping hole in front of him, and then he'll risk the pot.
You think Cobra Alvin weren't going to shoot the 5?
Oh yeah, that would have been cut in. Yeah.
Oh, and he hit this way too hard. Oh boy, yeah, and that's just terrible. I mean, I was complimenting how he was setting himself up for the 5 earlier, and that's just
Here we go with the pot again.
Well, and again, you don't want to hit this hard. You don't want to roll it. Finally, he rolls one. Yeah, that's the big pocket like that.
So now he just wants to nestle in the 5 and leave it for the pot, and that's him on 90. And now Mr. Fox may well be dead and buried here.
Okay, I'm going to officially announce him out of goofy mode because that was actually a good little sequence there. That's the thing about getting goofy.
What was that, Steve? I mean, he looked around thinking, right, where am I going to put the cue ball for this 1-5?
Did I jinx him?
Yeah, of course you jinxed him.
Well, I like going off the 1, 2 rails into the 3.
Oh dear.
I like going off the 1 at the diamond just past the side pocket on the right, and that's going to hit the 3 for sure. He's going the other way. I don't like this way.
If he'd finished anywhere over here, he had the 5 to the 3.
The good news is he didn't lose his points, and the way Fox has been going, and he just slams them, which is...
Well, it's working out nice because he's got a 3-5.
It worked out nice, but that's taking a huge chance of
it
making
always
a ball.
does. That's what Cobra doesn't do. I mean, anybody that hasn't worked it out yet, when Cobra's playing, he's not playing risky shots, and especially in the context of the match, depending where he is in the rack, he's not playing risky shots. But then again, when you're 2-0 down and you're desperate to string some cards together, you'll take on any risk. I think that's the stage that Fox has got himself into. He just simply got
What's he doing here? Why isn't he playing off the 5 ball? That's an easy hit to the 3.
Well, he's got to spin it a bit though, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, he'd have to spin it, but I didn't like that choice of shots. I would have just played off the 5 ball to the 3. That was been a hard ball to miss.
Again, he didn't get into the cue ball enough there. So
this is the part where KrazyKow shines.
As soon as he can get something, if that bumps the 5, well, the only thing it didn't do there is bump the 5. If it bumped the 5 there, it was game over, probably.
Yeah, he didn't leave himself in the best spot, but the 3 to the 5 is pretty easy. Or you could do 5 to 3. I think 3 to the 5 is easier. Now, I don't like shooting it that way, but a little risky turning the 5 loose. And he's going to have to put a little stun. This isn't quite a half ball hit. He's going to have to stun it a teeny bit, and he did it too much, and there goes his points.
There goes the points.
Yeah, he couldn't afford to miss on that side of the ball. And see, the thing is he could have hit the 3 ball and he was going to scratch. He needed to make sure he was on the other side of the 3 ball.
Well, I think he's got it. If this was me, I'd be playing off the 1 ball to bump in behind the 3 and just get there and no more. That's what I'd be doing.
He can't play off the 1 ball. It's in the kitchen.
Is it in the kitchen or on its spot? Oh, you're right enough, Steve. I was thinking it's on its spot. Right, I take it all back. I'm an umpty. And I haven't had my dinner yet, so that's my other excuse.
Well,
I would have played it. I would have played it a bit softer than that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he put him in a wonderful spot. Although I think this is a pretty easy 3-railer. This is pretty much a half ball hit here. No, you don't have to overcut this. Half ball hit on the 3 ball, and go 3 rails to the 5.
I'm looking at the half ball hit. It's just going to get past the jaw, isn't it? See,
no, it's definitely past the jaw.
See, I'm looking at this and I'm not convinced.
Well, and that's the thing is I don't play enough caroms to be 100% sure, but it looks like it to me.
Yeah, you've gone narrow. See, I would have hit it probably where he was, but I would have had a bit of spin on it to get it sharper off the rail into the corner.
Yeah, open it up, and that's what you got to get a feel for is I think on billiards is whether you want to help at the first rail a little, because on the second rail it's going to open up anyways because it's going to get English from the first rail. So the line you can affect the most when you're coming into a rail at that kind of angle is the first rail. The second rail is going to open up regardless.
This could be the match winner here if he bumped it. Well, I was going to say that it could be the match winner because the 1 was always heading down towards the 3. Now, if he'd got the hit in the 5 there, I think it was game over.
Well, it might be game over now. I mean, Fox, very delicate. That's impressive to be able to hit it that delicate.
Oh, that's the thing that Yama was doing. I mean, he's playing with that house cue. And I was talking to? Was it Cobra the other day in one of the rooms? I said, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I said, I think Yama prefers using the house cue because he is limited. And I think he likes the power in the house cue, particularly for little delicate shots and caroms and things. I think that's why he likes it. I mean, he's got a play cue as far as I know.
Well, this game is over. Unless he does some numpty move like blocking himself with the 5 ball, this game is over.
Yeah, well, not quite, because he's got to try and leave himself straight on this 1. This looks so easy where it is, and I think he's fine. Or is he? Well, look at where the 1 is. It's just off the tip.
I think he's just got out far enough.
This, see, this could be dodgy, this. Yep, see, there you go. Telling you, my commentator's eye spotted it.
But here's the thing, is if you hit that easy and the 1 brushes the titty, it still goes in. When you hit it at that speed, well, I would have hit that easy with a little bit of right English. And you go, well, why use right English there? And it's not going to be for the reason you think. A lot of times when the ball's in the pocket, you're using English because it's helping it come off the channel and go in.
Mm-hmm.
That's not why you needed English there. The reason why right English was good was because it was going to curve the cue ball slightly. So it's almost like moving the cue ball an inch further out when you curve it. And
that's just a bit too heavy.
All you got to do is put some right English on that, and the cue ball curves a little and makes it a little bit bigger pocket because you're coming at a different angle.
Well, Monster there didn't want to risk the carom in the 3-5 or the 5-3 and decided I'm going to pot the 1 and try and get cover up top, but he hit it too hard. So now Fox has got a fairly standard out on Cowboy, and that's him in 2 goes and missed. And again, it's not finished great for Fox, but he's going to roll to the rail here. He's not going to. Is he going to play the carom? Well, he's been brave this time, and this time he's been caught out. And look at where the cue ball's finishing. Oh, well, it's in a bump. Now he's going to punch the 1 out of the way and drag this in, but he's hampered by the 5.
Yeah, well, this.
Oh, what am I talking about? Monster's still at the table.
Yeah,
I thought he'd missed.
That was a carom when he hit the 5 ball.
I was too busy looking at the 1.
You're too busy not seeing how lucky he just got. You can say it again, Tim.
Yeah. That is definitely lack of food that does that, because my brain starts to dry up if it doesn't get fed often enough.
Well, that was a very poor attempt there, and I think there were easier ways to play a carom than that.
Right, well,
I
let's
mean,
see.
it would have been impressive, but so I think Fox can handle this one, can he?
Well, he's going really thin.
Yeah, well, you've got to be really thin here.
Oh, wait a minute, what have I done? Hang on a minute. Where the hell's the bloody VP4 went to? There it is.
It's got to be really thin here.
He's got to watch the double kiss here.
Yeah, that's why it's got to be really thin.
He's missed it. Oh, no, he has got it. Oh,
See,
God, it was so thin.
You couldn't be too thin. I don't think there's any way you could miss it too thin.
We've got a fight on now, guys. He's back in it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, now this is sort of an interesting thing, because that last game was how KrazyKow played that whole match he lost. And he's got to recognize the goofiness and get himself out of it. You know, you got to take the emotions out of it and just settle in and you know you're a good player. You know you can do this. You just have to play your game. Keep doing the same thing and not be concerned about anything. Just go out and play. As soon as you start, worrying about this or that, or you let the emotions get in it, and then you're never going to get out of goofy mode.
Right, Fox has gone for a little interlude.
All right, I'm going to interlude too. Then I'll be back.
Get a chimpanzee for 2023. Right, the match will resume within the next couple of minutes as soon as Mr. Fox gets back. Well, we had, I think it was freezing rain that we had this morning when I went out to the car, so I had a bit of ice in the car. There was a bit of snow on the M8, or not the M8, on the Fenwick Moor and the M77. There was none at Silverburn, so there wasn't really very much. I'd no doubt it would have been a lot more further north. But it's now, last time I checked, it was like 2 and 3 degrees here earlier on, but I think it's the temperature's gone up. That's us, we're back into the mild weather. A quick look. Yeah, it's down to 5 degrees now. It won't be long in disappearing. The milder weather's moving in. So we have VP Monster with a 2-1 lead. The match started at 5 p.m. We're an hour and 32 minutes or so into this match. And, well, we know the pattern it has to take. Mr. Fox simply has to get to the caroms again. So Mr. Fox looks as if he's back. Well, the cue's moved. So far, nobody's been in the stream that watched that match with Tommy and Wanwa last night, so nobody's telling me anything about it.
Fox said okay, and he hasn't had a response, so maybe KrazyKow's gone.
Maybe he's getting a coffee or going to the bathroom or something.
Okay, question mark in the room chat.
Right,
okay,
so
here we go.
We're good to go. And Mr. Fox is breaking off, so now Mr. Fox has had no response. He's oh no, he is. He's moving the queue. So he's got his first chance here to put something on the board. The old bank the 3, draw to the 5 routine.
Well, let's see if KrazyKow has changed something here. This game, whether he can get himself out of the doldrums.
Right, Tommy, there's the very man. Tommy, how would you describe how that match went last night? Because nobody knows other than yourself. Well done in the win. Were you just the best of the 2 players? Did you get lucky? Was it close? Alright, well that's an honest opinion, Rob. That's better than Tommy's biased opinion when he said he played brilliant. So let's just say there's room for improvement. Let's get rid of that logo. So how many times are we going to say this? But this is where you have to put something on the board. And when I say something, you want to get 50 odd at least. 50 odd minimum to apply that little pressure where Monster has to respond.
Yeah, you want to keep the pressure on him.
And there's no better way of doing it than actually having won that rack, got yourself in the game, and then you've got break off in rack number 4, and a chance to say, watch out because I'm in this game. I mean to be trying to win this. Well, no problem with a follow-up carom off the 3 ball. Just stay top side of the 3. Let the cue ball run off the rail.
Well, what's probably happened
Oh dear, oh dear.
It's the old trackball error.
But, that's a total disaster.
You got KrazyKow feeling a little down, maybe a little discouraged, and Fox is feeling good, and that happens.
Well, I'm certainly glad I had my work the next day and didn't have to sit up and watch it then.
Oh, look at this. That wasn't close.
Well,
that wasn't close.
We might end up talking about films again here, Steve, the way this is going.
Yeah, we've had a mouse fart and a complete dog. I mean, how do you miss that ball?
He's playing, is it, when you talk about playing when you're tight You know, you're not letting the cue go through in real life. You know, you're just not flowing. You're not loosening the arm, and things are tightening up. You're not stroking the ball. That's as if, you know, what Monster's doing there. He's not confident enough to go through in the shot and pot the ball.
Well, visually, you know, you start. I'll tell you this. I know for me, my real life game, if I start trying to aim balls, I'm done.
Yeah, you've got to go with your instinct.
I know this. So when I start struggling missing balls, instead of trying harder to make balls, I focus on moving the cue ball. I get into where the cue ball is going, and that's, you know, I just say, I even do it to the point where, you know, when I'm taking some practice strokes, I spend like 80-90% of the time looking at the cue ball, and every once in a while I just glance up to make sure the object ball's still there, because I want to do everything I can not to aim. And, you know, when you're struggling and missing balls, it's hard not to look at the ball and try to aim it. So it's knowing your tendencies and then trusting that, okay, if I just get in the cue ball, the object ball is going in the pocket. And I think it's a lot like that in VP too, as guys start, you know, doubting themselves. They start, you know, trying to make sure they're going to make the ball, and then you end up missing stuff like KrazyKow does.
That's exactly it. You know, you're getting inside your own head. Again, this is absolutely no shape for a carom. I mean, there's nothing obviously easy here. And each of the balls have all got big gaps around them for you to just spin past.
Yeah, but this is where you go to that half ball hit. That's the first thing you look for is, where can I make a play that's a half ball hit? Because that's the one that's going to be easiest.
Well, look where Monster's been left. He's got as far as he's concerned, a really dodgy cut in the 5 here.
Yeah, but it's not that hard to carry him to the 1. You can play the 5 to the 1 carom.
There you go. It ain't happening with the pots.
Yeah, if Fox can just make anything happen, he's got a chance to win this match.
See, I wonder if I wonder if a lot of the guys have the save zoom. See, I've got the save zoom set, and I know that before I'm taking a shot, if I've reset my zoom back to what I've got it saved at, I know I'm aiming with the same aim or the same distance that I'm always doing. And
yeah, that's critical. You set that up to be the same.
You know, that way when you're, I mean, see that shot there, for example, that 5 ball cut. If you've got your zoom saved, then you've always got a default. But when you're messing around, zooming in and out, looking at things, if you don't set it to default, then you're not back to square one where you can start your set up for the shot again. And that's why I've got the zoom saved, purely for that reason. So that I've got a default where I'm sighting balls, particularly maybe in a cut shot or something. Well, Mr. Fox back at the table, desperate to put a score together. And he needs to slow up here. He needs to slow up. Well, this is a little dink. If he wants to be fancy, a bit of right spin in the cue ball and just dink into the jaw and bump that 5. I mean, you can be fancy and do that. That way you're bound to hit the 5. There you go. And now he's rolled through and got the 5 on the side. Now, what's his line like in the 5? So he's going up top, above the 3, and then you've got a sight and 2 balls. One way or another, you can either play the thin one from the 5 to the 3, or you can play a dodgier force follow to the 1. See, I don't know why he's not playing the
These
3
guys
to
are
5.
saying the stream. These guys are saying the stream's not working, but I'm watching it.
What's missing, Dwight? It stopped. It stopped on Twitch.
I'm on Twitch, and
Cobra says it's okay for me. Well, that's good. Just do a refresh, Dwight. Just do the little spin thing in the bottom right-hand corner of your live stream and reload it. It may well be just a glitch at your end. Everything's good on my end. It's I'm feeding out a live stream. The other guys are saying it's fine. It's just a quick refresh. It's maybe just glitched. And meanwhile, Mr. Fox on 34.
Now.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that yet. He's not taking it to him until he's on 70 odd, and Monster's still in 9. If he gets to 70 odd, then he's in business. And anything more than 70 odd is a bonus. Now he needs to have a pot. He's got the pot, he's got the easy carom to follow, and everything's looking rosy at the moment. Well, it's Canadian internet, Dwight. You know. That and the weather, and look what he's done here. He's gone dodgy here.
Get used to it, Hugh. I get blamed for everything. I got the Turks yesterday blaming me for their bad ping. They're asking me to fix their ping.
How are you going to fix their ping? I mean, fix their ping.
Yeah.
Well, they're
telling me to fix the ping.
Well, the ping from Turkey to the States, it's probably 300, whatever it is. You know, it's probably around about 300 at least, if not slightly more. I don't know what their internet connections are like in Turkey, but there's nothing.
From how much these guys complain, not very good.
Well, other than you roping up a big chain to the coast of Europe and then dragging it across the Atlantic to shorten the distance to like maybe 300 miles rather than 3,000 miles, I think that's the only way you'd fix it.
Oh no, that's not why their ping's bad. It's going to be local to them.
Well,
their ISP or, I mean,
dodgy connections.
It's their local connection.
So the run goes to 52. The lead is building. It's still not enough to really apply the pressure.
We almost never have trouble here. I mean, I'm at a data center in New York right on the dark fiber, so it's rare that there's any issues on that end. Not saying it's never happened, but it's rare.
There goes that idea. So he's fallen short of 70 odd. He's on 60. The run ends in 57. It's still a good enough contribution, but is it going to be good enough?
Well, as soon as he misses this, see, I'm going to talk bad about him now, and maybe he'll make him, because every time I talk good about him, he dogs it.
Mark says it's a regular occurrence on Twitch where it just freezes up.
Not for me. I rarely see Twitch freeze up. Again, it's probably your connection.
I don't know why it does that then. That's the first time I've heard of that happening on Twitch.
No, it's his connection, because...
Yeah, blame it on your connection, Mark.
It is. It's his connection. I'm on the other side of the world, and I don't have any problem with Twitch freezing up. It rarely happens.
He's probably getting 30 Muslims locally actually feeding off his internet. Is that right, Mark?
It doesn't matter if you're... It doesn't... Well, I'm not... let me just put it another way. It does matter about connection speed, but that's not the only thing that matters.
Well, that's another big fail.
If you drop connections or it's intermittent, one thing you got to realize is that neighborhoods are typically oversold 3 times and as much as 5 times bandwidth wise. So you can have the greatest bandwidth in the world, but if your ISP runs out of it, and
Well,
this time of night in the UK is when a lot of people are going to be online, and could be bandwidth problems. It could be just a problem where piece of equipment drops a connection.
At this peak time here, we're coming up to like 7 p.m. at night, and everybody's got home from work if they've been back at work today. So most people aren't. But if they've got all the kids over for Christmas and New Year, then everybody's online.
There was a time when who is it? BT? Is it British Telecom or what's one of the big ISPs over there?
Well, that's who I'm with. I'm with BT.
Yeah. Well, there was a time several years ago where at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening over there, people started dropping connections.
Yeah, because
it was BT. They just couldn't handle the capacity.
They were throttling down the. They were throttling down the connections.
Oh, there's something wrong. There's something wrong on your end. But guess what? It was only the BT customers in the UK. Mm-hmm. So well, you're on Virgin, but it doesn't matter. All of them oversell. The question is how bad it is in your neighborhood. What's the equipment like? I've even seen problems coming offshore where sometimes you have problems that is not just local, but it's regional. Like that BT problem was regional. It can vary, depending.
Well, Mr. Box is now hoping that he gets back to the table before Monsters got past his current score.
Well, Mark, with all that going, Hugh must have a little button where he just presses and says, "Freeze, Mark."
I mean, the only problems
he's got one of those buttons.
The only problems I ever get
the "Let's mess with Mark" button.
I only ever get problems with VP4 when the problem's at the VP4 end. That is to say, I can't get into the lobby. Steve's in his bed. The bloody server's down for 5 hours and nobody can get into VP4. That's the only problems I get. I don't get disconnects.
Yeah. And Mark, you're lucky he doesn't have the drop Steve button on the space bar like he has mute, because we all know how much you haven't muted yourself in a while, Hugh. Did you remap the thing?
Yeah, I've got it remapped, yeah.
No wonder. Okay, you finally remapped it. That's funny.
But I've remapped it. I've remapped it 3 times. It's now on my delete button on the right hand side of the keyboard. It's on the delete button next to the enter button.
Yeah, if you do it again, you just might as well put it on the wall switch.
Well, here we go again. We want this is a pot he's going to have to deliver here on this 5 ball to take him into the lead and to stay at the table.
Yeah, and this kind of stuff he's been missing. It's not a hard shot, but he's just, he's taking a lot of time here too.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. I'm going to take a lot of time and make sure. And,
that's why I said to him, I said, look, you look at you take one look at the angle, you see the angle, and then you pot the ball. You spend time thinking about it, you're not getting any more chance of potting it.
Well, he's trying to aim, and that usually doesn't work well.
I told him, I said the other day, I said, listen, go with your instinct. You're thinking too much about the pot. And if you go with your instinct, see the shot, because you've done it 100 times, 1,000 times, tens of thousands of times, you just play the shot. You've got to try and get that out of your head. And Mr. Fox is at it as well.
Now, what do you bet he shoots the one? He's not going to dare try
to
get the
three. You've got to get the one on its spot and just dink it in and stay below. That's it.
Okay, so Well, Fox had his chance to
in that.
get to 90 and really put a lot of pressure on him. And this is no good. I mean, you would have thought that he would have put himself in a little better spot for a shot.
Yeah,
I say this is no good, a shot no one had ever missed, but the way he's going, I mean, he's got to be pretty gun shy at this point. Oh, he's hoping this 5 sits in front of the pocket.
Yeah, it's almost there. I think he's fine to stay below the 1. Just drop it in. And I don't think it's worthwhile bothering about the 3 at the moment. Just get the 5 in the spot, work on the 1-5, because that way you're getting more points. And again, he wants to glance off this half ball, this 5 ball. He doesn't want to push it up the table. Like, you know, an edge like that is fine.
Yeah, there he goes.
Now he can go 1 and 1-5 again if he wants. Make sure he goes through to the right side. He doesn't want to leave this shot. That's better. Maybe get into it a wee bit too much.
Yeah, maybe get in the rhythm. He didn't take a lot of time on that shot, and I think that's what he needs to do, is not try to aim. You know, look at it, see it, hit it. Oh boy, well, that got a little tougher. It looks like he's going to be playing a combination. It's not a hard combo, but...
Yeah, I think he's got to go for it.
Yeah, and here we go. Think. Okay, look at this and hit it. Just connect the balls. Cue ball, 3 ball, 5 ball pocket. There we
you go. So into the lead.
Yeah, I hate seeing people struggle because, boy, I know what it's like. I've had my struggles, and it's not that much fun to struggle.
Now the 1 ball's dead, so now he's going to have to come up with a shot here. So when he pots this 5, he's going to probably be playing 5-1. So he wants to watch the pace in the cue ball.
Oh, this is perfect. Now the only question is, going to hit it thin or is he going to go thick? But it's me personally, I'd hit this thin, but he may decide to go thick.
Well, left or right side of the 1, but not full in the face. That's what you want from this shot.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry that much about full in the face.
Well, he wants to just bump the 1 up the table slightly.
English on it. Well, see, I don't get that.
Yeah.
You put left English on it. Why are you putting English on that shot? There's
all
no advantage.
All you're doing is picking the line off the 5 ball.
It's not like you can go off behind the 1 or something, not where it is.
I'm never playing English off that shot. All it is the thickness on the 5.
On the shot. Yeah, it's just, you know, all you're doing is reducing your chance of success by putting English on that shot.
Well, this is the most important visit of the match for Mr. Fox right now. He has to be at 90.
Oh boy, that was that shot you could have scratched off if he played that well. He gets on the right side of that 3 and it's gone.
Now, can he get into the 1? Now, he's drawn off this 3, but he could.
No, he should just roll this 3.
It looks as if he's drawn. I don't know where he's going with the cue ball, to be honest with you, because obviously the next shot's a carom. Because the 3 ball's going to spot up table. He's going to be in no great shape unless he moves this cue ball somewhere.
He could go 1 to the 5.
It needs to keep going
the whole way around, and it's going to come up short.
Well, this is pretty similar to the one that Monster had.
This is easier than Monster.
He's going force follow.
And he had a chance to make the 5 ball there too.
So that takes him to 77. And again, stay up top, but not too heavy. Just enough pace to pot the 5 and let the pace run out in the cue ball so that you're just coming into the table. See, he's hit it too hard. You know, he's done it again almost. I think he's got away with it though.
He got away with it.
Hit that too hard.
He's okay here. He can follow this. But, you know, I mean, I think KrazyKow's got the advantage when he gets to the caroms, even though we've seen him make some big mistakes on caroms.
So
He's
83,
got to shoot the 3 ball here.
86.
Okay, he's going to go to the other side of it. And this is like a half ball hit here. See, this is perfect.
Well, he wants the only surefire guarantee you can get here is, well, I was going to say that if he bumps the one along the rail, he's got a pot.
I would have played off the 3. It was like a half ball hit, and you're running right at the 5 and 1.
And look at where he's finished. Monster,
Well,
can he squeeze that past the 3? I think he can. Yeah.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't want to have to putt the 5. He needs that 5 to slow down. Yeah, he's okay. He can shoot the 3 ball. He's got, and then he can go the 1 to the 5.
Well, that's still a fail from Mr. Fox. He hasn't got to 90, and he's now second favourite for this rack.
Man, he's got to be a little careful here.
Well, he's going to thin this one, so he's going to the rail and hitting the back of the 5, just dead weight pace. He doesn't want to do anything that's going to risk knocking the 5 in, so he's just going to brush this light as a feather.
And that's well done.
Now, I think the angle's good enough to get out. And he might play it gentle enough to still finish short of the kitchen line. Let's have a look. Yep, he can do that. I mean, he can just let that 1 ball roll in, and he'll be up at the kitchen line, and he's got a 1 to the 5. That'll do it. So that now, with the caramel taking to 88, now he has to thin this enough so the 1 ball's still in play, and it is. And he's got a straight in 1 ball. This takes 2 seconds to look at, line it up and just pot it. But a little roll through, I would think. And then he might end up playing a similar shot again. Off this 1. It's maybe a bit thinner than he would like now. No, I think he's okay. He can do the same again. Just make sure he goes to the rail first and catches the back side of the 5. No, he's went the other way. We'll look at the cue ball though. Oh, that could have been painful. But he's on 90. And unless Mr. Fox gets back to the table quick here, if Monster can get 1 shot where these balls start to get in line, then it won't be good tidings for Mr. Fox. This isn't a great layout though. Well, he's got to have a run at it. I mean, I'd still be playing a 2 and 1 shot here. It's a big risky shot, but I mean, I've got 2 chances of hitting a ball. I'd be going for it. I mean, he's playing the cut. He's going for the cut in the 1, and he's overcut it. I would have still went for the 2 and 1 shot off the 3 ball, either onto the 5 or up the table onto the 1. And that's another chance he's had to get to 90. That's come and gone in the blink of an eye. Now,
oh boy. Well,
I think the line that this 5 ball taking is pretty good. He's just got to trust the pace that this 5 ball may well still be in play in and around the 1 ball. He's trying to stun to the 3.
It should be. You don't really need to stun this that much. It's more of just a straight side ball with a lot of English.
No, see, he's overstunned. He's overstunned it.
I was saying. I mean, this is
again digging down too much in the cue ball.
Well, it's just not having a good idea where the ball is going. I mean, that was a super easy hit. and he misses it on the side you can't miss on. He could have been anywhere on the other side. He couldn't miss the
Well,
three. I mean, that's just...
That it swings and roundabouts here. It's going one direction, the other. That could be fatal for Monster. Now, the way these balls are sitting, if Mr. Fox can mind his business here, he could be really deep into these caroms. Now, he's got to work out what he can play that keeps everything in play. Well, if he's going to play the draw shot, the three ball's not really going to be handy sending it around the table. Let's have a look. It's going to end up on the right-hand side.
I'll tell you something that KrazyKow doesn't understand. And he just showed it on that last shot. Basically, it's the distance from the cue ball to the object ball. I mean, this is super important anytime you're trying to play
Look at
off
the five.
stun. Oh, boy. Well, there goes those points. Is you got to understand the distance. So when you're that close to the five ball like he was, if you just hit center ball, it's going to stun. Because the cue ball is never going to get a chance to turn over.
Mm.
He just needed a center ball left English, and it was going to be perfect. And instead, he drops a tip. Now, if you were 3 feet away, you might have to drop the tip like that. And this is real basic stuff. So
here we go again.
You know, the thing is you watch a guy like Cobra who plays draw and stun really well. He would never have done that. I mean, not in a bajillion years would he have missed that carom.
Well, Fox is back at the table yet again. Monster misses the carom onto the one.
Well, this is somebody's going to limp home with this victory.
That takes him to 88. He's now got an open table, which is a bonus, and he can pot the one. But again, he's got to watch. Let's have a look at how the angle is in this one. See, he's the wrong side of the one.
Yeah, I'd probably play off the 5 into the 3 if it was me. Just thin the 5.
He's going forward, trying to come right over to the left.
Yeah,
to get
that's
in line.
not a bad play. I mean, it wasn't a hard pot.
That'll work.
Yeah.
So one more carom and then we're into the caroms.
The speed's important on this because it's not really a half ball hit. He needs to extend this out or he needs to go straight through off the end rail, which is what he did. So he went to more of a full hit.
5 ball needs to keep going up.
He's sitting pretty good here. This is just a half ball hit. You just got to recognize that angle.
Oh, that's 5 balls in a dodgy spot now.
Well, things just got a lot harder for him.
Well,
he's got the lead, but this is a tester here. I'd be playing off the 3 ball, going 2 or 3 rails without one.
I'd already have played the shot, Steve. That's how certain I would be. I'd be down, making sure I'm not cutting the 3 to the pocket and getting the spin working.
I don't know what the heck he's doing here.
Well, there's not a lot to think about this. That's a shot. It's staring you in the face.
Well, the only thing you got to watch out for is not making the 3 2 rails. That's the only danger. Well, I guess you could make the 1 too. That'll
do it. As long as he doesn't catch it the wrong side and scratch.
There's the 2 railer on the 3. That's what I was talking about. I mean, that was definitely in play on the line. He needed to hit it.
3 balls.
I see. If these guys playing this will remember these shots, then they'll understand how to play one pocket because you shoot that shot in one pocket all the time. And exactly like that. You see where the cue ball went? So he shot the 3 at his pocket. He brought the cue ball over by his opponent's pocket. That's like a perfect 1 pocket shot.
Just got it. Well, there's not much more you can play off that 3 ball unless you were really able to get to that knuckle and nudge it from the back end. It's really dangerous.
I think his run's about over.
And the 5 ball's ugly as well. You know, that's just where you just cut and run. You know, don't do anything daft. Just take what you've got.
Points.
let Monster worry about trying to deal with this situation. That's exactly what I would have done.
Well, you could play a hit on the 5 ball, and I mean it's possible to do it.
Well, I
Play
think
to the 5 ball.
he's looking to see if he can. I think he can.
He can play off the 3 to the 5.
Yeah,
He
but
definitely can play that shot.
I think the worry is that is the cue ball going to get out of the way in time off that 3 ball?
Yeah, you're going to hit it with right English. You hit it really thin, and you hit it with right English. You're opening this up with the English. The 3 ball's not going to move much.
It's still on. It's still got some of the point there to hit it into.
Yeah, no, you're going to hit it almost sideways. You're going to hit it super thin with a lot of English and come over and hit the rail right before the 5 and then hit the 5. I mean, that shot's there.
Well, he's seen this shot 1,000 times in the game, and I'm surprised he's not even considering it. See, what's worrying him is
I would already shot it.
Well, I'll tell you what's worrying him. What's worrying him is playing that shot that you're talking about, Steve, but missing it. And then what he's doing is he's banking the 3 over towards the 1, and he's letting Fox in with a 3 and a 1 setup. That's what he's worried about. That's why he chickened out playing it.
Yeah, but the 3 shouldn't move that much. I mean, the 3 should at most move a diamond. You got to hit it really thin, and you're not hitting it that hard because the spin's going to power the ball.
What's he trying here? Is he trying to draw this?
Yeah. Well, of course he is. That's an easy shot.
That'll do it.
You know, he gives Fox an easy shot,
but not an awful lot more to come from it, though.
Well, no, he can go right to the end rail and into the 3 here.
Well, this is risky. He could catch this wrong and scratch.
No, this is on a perfect line. This is on a beautiful spot to hit that shot.
He's not interested.
Now he's going to do another draw shot. I would already shot and knock the 3 out.
That's going to skim out. Well, he's got 94 on the board. Monster's still stuck in 90. Now, Monster,
he'll play off the 1 to the 5 here, I think. It's a pretty big 5 ball where it's sitting.
See, this is where these Karen phases drag on because everybody's scared to take a risk. And if I'm 2-1 up, right? If I'm 2-1 up,
watch out.
And I'm being threatened.
And there we go again on the wrong side of the ball.
Where's the cue ball going?
He's got the he's got a bowling ball size 5 ball if he gets on the long rail side of it, and instead he's on the wrong side.
See, both
That's
of these.
It's a sin to miss it on the wrong side. If you go to the rail and you hit the long rail and miss the 5 ball there, at least you haven't sinned.
See, this 3 ball's never going to be touched again in this rack unless it gets bumped accidentally and gets knocked in because the 2 of them are,
He had the chance when he had that 1 ball. He had the chance to go behind it, and you anywhere on that end rail, you hit the 3. There's no way you're going to scratch.
Well,
there's no possible way you could hit that 3 and scratch coming off that end rail. Well, it wasn't ever going to happen.
I'm thinking about Monster's position here now. I'm thinking of how his mind should be working. He's now sitting. Fox has got himself to 97. And
Fox is going to be at 98. This is a brush the 5 to the 3 here.
Well, listen, you need eyes like a hawk to play this.
Well, you can't foul because you're going to hit the 3 for sure. And there we go. Now we're going to brush it again.
Now they're locked, and the outshot's there.
They're not locked, but they're going to brush it again.
He's just going to try and split the 2 of them. I think he. Let's have a look.
What's he doing? This is the easiest carom in the world.
Yeah, well, I think he's thinking ahead. He's thinking about the 1 ball.
The 3 ball won't go in. You're going to cut the 3 enough so that it can't go in.
Now he's in 99, so he's going to be in 100. But he didn't risk hitting that any harder to get the cue ball out. So now he's hampered right over the 5. If he gets this will be a good shot.
He's on 100 shooting for the win. And this whole thing is turned around where, Fox is now in the driver's seat. I mean, if Fox wins this game, he's probably going to win the match because KrazyKow's gone goofy. Now, let's take a good look at this.
He's trying to pot the 3 and stay behind the 5. That's what he's trying to do.
No, he might be. Yeah. And he didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
And there's enough space between the 1 and the rail to shoot this. You got to shoot this with speed. That's the most important part of this, is that you hit it with speed.
So this, to square the match and go into a final rack beside it.
He didn't hit it with speed. See, that shot wasn't that tough if you hit it with speed, but as soon as you hit it that speed, it's going right to the long rail.
Well, Monster has got to try and get something pushed around the table, and he's brought the 3 in play. It might be locking him out, though.
That's right. The medical term is goofy.
Yeah. It's thin off the rail to bump the 1.
Well, KrazyKow needs to win this game, because if he loses this game, he's probably losing the match. That's kind of how things have gone. I mean, he's gone goofy, and he needs to somehow win this game, because Fox is feeling like $1 million right now.
And now it's getting interesting. He's got the 1 into play. He can bump around in the corner here if he gets the balls rolling nice. Now sending the 5 possibly up towards the 3. Well, it's gone further up the table.
Well, at least he's got a nice angle here.
But at least he can see it. Well, the run is 5.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a hard hit. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but I think he'd play the 3 to the 5.
Welcome to LS3. Sitting there quiet in the corner.
I would play this by, this is like an 1/8 of a ball or something. Now here he goes putting English on it again. I don't get this. Here he goes with English again.
Well,
why is he putting English on the
I'll
shot?
tell you why. This is because in case he misses right side of the 5, he'll spin into the back of the 5. That's why he's putting English on it. Watch this. That's what he's lining up.
The thing is when it's this close to the rail, I mean, it's not as close as it was last time.
Now you've scared them out. He's doing something else.
Well, this is a smarter shot. Although you got to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, that works. Now he's got. See, now there's a problem because now he's got the 1 ball set for Mr. Fox, and this is a must if he's going to go for the pot, go for the carom.
Maybe he should play off the 1 ball.
Yeah, well, fair play to him. He took the risk and going for the 3-5. But the 1 ball's always sitting in that dangerous position.
Oh, I don't like this shot. Anytime you're lined up in a pocket, there's a kiss, and you have to avoid it. See how the 3 and it's almost lined straight up?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. Okay, he's going to come back. This is okay.
And there we go.
Except for the fact that he could not.
Now where's that 1 ball? Let's have a look at the line. Well, this is an easy out here for Mr. Fox. He can't miss this. I mean, he's played this hundreds of times. This out shot.
I think Cobra's idea hooked him.
And again,
pretty good.
He's hit it too thick. It was not difficult, but it's difficult at distance. Wait a minute, hang on a minute, guys. I'm too busy watching the screen. I forgot about the bloody replay there. Yeah, you see that when Monster was at the table there, he had to think about either going for a more difficult carom. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at where this is finished.
Well, you got to get some rolls.
Yeah, I think.
Look at this.
Now the 1 ball's dodgy.
Well, I mean he just he played a good shot to hit it and rolled him back.
Well, all that hard work that Monster did, it's all gone. All those caroms have gone. He's back to 90, and Fox for the
Fox
match
is going to win here.
He's not missing this.
Hasta la
Well,
vista,
it's not for the match,
baby.
but it's for the game. And
For the game, I should say, yeah.
Fox has got to be a big favorite at this point to win this match. I mean, I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about it.
Well, this has turned out a lot better than what we had last night. If only for the fact that we've had 4 racks and we've got a final rack decider. Now it's anybody's. Oh dear. Still managed to find a guy. Did he skim that one there?
No.
No, he didn't. So there we go. The break off from Monster only gives him 2. And this is when you want to put a run together. This is when you want to do a Cobra run. The guys come back to 2 racks all. You get in and you have a run of 90 or something. That's how you win the match. Now what's going through Monster's head now that he's had a 2 rack lead. It's gone. He's had a visit and only got 2. And he doesn't know how far behind he's going to be if and when he gets back to the table. Two hours and about 20 minutes for this match.
Yeah, this is pretty. This is going the distance, and
easy carom to the 3. Never missing it.
Fox is the favorite here. I mean, it's watch out.
He's going for the draw, and then the ball's running loose. You see, you could have played to the 3, no problem there. But maybe he had a plan if he's going to get the 3 ball on its spot, but he's a bit straight. I think that's the problem. Yep, he's way too straight in the 3.
Well, he can make the 1, and then he can play from the 1 to the 3. I would think that's what he'd do.
Just get up above the kitchen line. That looks reasonable enough.
You just got to make sure you get a shot here. He kind of hit it hard and
got the double kiss there.
Yeah, I mean, he could have hit it easy and made sure he had a shot on the 1, but he didn't do that.
Well, I don't think there's much point in hitting this 3 ball soft. He's got to. I mean, if he hits it soft, he's going to finish over on the left side. He's got to get fairly close to the rail to. Well, he's played the bank. That takes that out of the equation. But where he's finished on the right side is still not great.
Yeah, it's not a hard stun over though. I might not have hit it quite that hard, but and he gets a tick on the cue ball and
that's a bonus.
Gotta love that.
Well, there's the run over there. The run ends in 19, and Monster's got off the hook. He'll be relieved.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that Fox has played a little better the last couple games, but it's more the Monster's game going down that's been the difference. Monster needs to kind of.
Yeah, is he going to produce?
He needs to like relax and just play his game and do what he was doing at the beginning. And see, he's playing in rhythm now. See, he's not taking a lot of time.
Yeah, that's what he should be doing. Just see the shot and play it.
I mean, it's super critical to play in rhythm when you're in competition.
Now there's a wee bit of thought involved here because the 3 being off its spot is, it's not in a great line. So he's
Five to the
going
one is
5-1.
easy. I mean, he's just the five's gonna be by the corner. Well, he could have hit that harder.
He set it a bit too
That-
soft. Yeah, see now he's got
yeah,
to
I don't
pull off a
understand
pot.
why he didn't hit the five harder and get it down by the corner.
No, I think he should take his medicine here, and well, he's running the cue ball, but I think he's still got the plan of playing the 1 to the 5 off the 2 rails.
Oh yeah, I mean, you shoot this in the pocket. Shoot this in the pocket and spin it 2 rails. You want
Going
1
one.
rail. Yeah. I would have spun that 2 rails every time.
But he's working with the 5 ball here, and the visit moves to 27. And this is how you quickly build up the score.
And he misses the carom. He was playing in a pretty good rhythm.
That's put the mockers on him there.
Well, but that's a little better actually. You know, that's a little better than what we've seen from him lately. So, you know, maybe he's coming out of this thing.
Well, you know, both players now are at the point of no return. Somebody's going to head home, as they say.
Well, that's a nice way to start.
So open table.
Table's still open. Got a chance to shoot this 1 and go 2 rails into the 5 or 3. And he doesn't take it. He's trying to set himself up for the carom, and this is not a wonderful spot.
This is dangerous. Because you got to get into this, and the cue ball's running loose. He'll settle for that, although again he's got to dig out a pot, cut into the side. But again, you know, I think he wants to miss the 1 here if he can. That way he can come back across to the 3 onto the 1. Don't know whether he can though. I haven't up to have a look. But yes, he has, and that way he's missed the 1. Maybe that's what he was thinking about. He's missed the 3, maybe trying to avoid the 1 so that he could leave the 3-1.
Yeah, the old think about the cue ball.
See,
so much.
that's how you get inside your head, because you are thinking. That's probably where it's to your advantage, where numpties play and they don't think about any of these things, so they've got nothing to worry about. They're just riding and hope each time they play a shot that they get some sort of position.
For sure. It's like my golf game. I always say I never dog it in golf. I'm not good enough to dog it. I screw up so much with no pressure that, you know, it's like you got nothing to worry about.
I don't know anything about the relationship. I just know that I don't talk to Mr. Fox. I don't know how these guys
got in the center of the pocket. That was nice. That was right in the center of the pocket, and I think he's sort of coming out of this goofy mode here, and I think that's all he needs to do to win this. I think. I mean, unless Fox is going to show us something here.
He's got to make a pot here, though, Steve. I think you might have blown it for him.
No, he's going to make this.
Oh, he's got it. By Jove, he's got it.
No, he's playing in a better rhythm now, which I think is going to solve his potting problems.
Now, let's just wait till this shot gets played. That's not what I want. I want to tab to the tournament screen.
Well, and this rolled out really nice.
And get this thing to load
roll
up.
Through this, and then he's going to play the 5-3 probably.
Just get it to load that page. That'll do it.
He's going to draw back. Why is he drawing back?
He's going 3-1.
Oh, he wants to go 3-1. That's why. Yeah, and now he's got the 5 straight in. And yeah, rolling through is not so wonderful.
See, this is not great shape.
I don't know why he's rolling through. Okay, he's going to roll through hard. That's okay.
See, a bit of distance to travel here to get to the 1 ball, though.
Yeah, he's funny.
And he doesn't want to hit it the wrong side.
Yeah, well played. He recognized the angle. That was well played.
Now, how's his angle in the 5? Because again, he can get that 1 ball off the rail. I think he's fine. He can just drop through and go far enough.
That's not any good if he's playing to the 1.
No, he's going to have to go a bit of inside left English here off the short rail, I think, and into the 1.
Well played, and he got the extra bonus. Now he's rolling. See, this is more how I expect him to play.
Now he's got to play a dodgy cut in the 1 and the side.
Yeah, that's not a shot you should miss. But
well, there you go, dodgy cut in the side.
But you notice how much time he took? Every time he starts taking time,
yeah,
he misses it. That's not a shot you should miss.
But he's kept his points. A run of 47. That deserves a little round of applause.
And I think
the crowd liked that.
If he just keeps doing that, he's probably going to win the match. And there's Fox going.
Well, there you go. This is Monster's just slabbered at the mouth there after that miss.
Now he's got a chance to play both the 5 and the 1 here. Keep the table open. Now, I don't know why you wouldn't shoot this 5, because it's as long as you hit it thin, you're going to hit the 1.
Yeah, to cut it in the side you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the only way you can not be at the table is to hit it too thick. And he's got a nice look. I think he'll go 1 to 3. We'll see.
Good evening to here, Pig. Yeah, but the thing is here, Pig, if you haven't been watching, Monster's got a thing in his head about potting balls at the moment. He's had it since before the tournament started. When he came back after his last hiatus, he's struggling to pot balls, and it's carried on all the way through the tournament.
If you think he's not uncomfortable with that shot, well, you haven't seen how many straight-in ducks that were complete dogs he's missed that nobody's going to miss. I mean, it's not just the shot comfort. That one was a little harder in some of them, but he's missed some ones that were just.
In fact, I'll tell you,
nobody's going to miss.
The trouble he's got at the moment, a consultation with Interchange X won't help him. Put it that way. He's got a serious psychological disorder with potting balls at the moment.
Yeah, and let's see if he can. One of these guys needs to pull it together here, and obviously Fox is going to need to make a run.
Well, you wonder how this will. How's your mindset after you come through a match like this? I mean, Fox. Well, he's trying to bump the 5 out of the way to get to the 3. I don't know whether he had the line. Obviously, he didn't. Yeah, you wonder how the mindset is once this match is over. Mr. Fox was 2-0 down. He'll be thinking, well, I was going to lose anyway, so it won't be that big a problem for him. But Monster's going to fall over the line more likely, and he hasn't played great at all.
Got to watch pot in the 5 here. Okay, he's playing it easy, and he's got it.
So that takes him to 89, and now he's got another pot down the rail.
Yep, and
I'd be digging into this to come back into the kitchen. See, again, he's not playing with any. He's not stroking the ball with confidence to get there. That's the difference.
I mean, that's a hard shot to miss.
He's just not stroking the ball properly. He's bottling out.
From that angle, you could have hit it into the rail 3 diamonds up, and it was going to go in.
Yeah. Well,
I would have missed a lot of stuff. A couple of those, even I would have a hard time missing.
But there's evidence of what's lacking in Monster's game. If he was confident in potting the balls, he'd be stringing runs together all the time because he can do that, but it's just not happening for him.
We've seen when he plays in rhythm, he's much better at potting balls, and when he starts thinking about it and taking a lot of time, he misses.
Well, he's making the mistake of listening to that doubt in his mind, that voice in his head saying, "Oh, here we go. This is an angle I don't like," and blah 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 blah. Look at the angle, see the shot, play the shot. Where
Well,
do you need to think?
Bedhead, you may be good at playing with the left side of your brain, but if you're a right side brain player, then taking a lot of time, all that's doing is activating the left side, and it kills you.
Well, Bedhead always knew his limitations in Cowboy.
Well, I think he'll be on 90 here for sure.
Oh, just
And
caught the edge.
Yeah, he's sitting
See,
pretty good here.
you should get 2 points for hitting the ball twice.
Yeah, he's gonna milk this one.
Well, this is what Monster likes.
Yeah, he's gonna get a little separation there.
Oh,
So
now he's
let's
got
see
a
what his
problem.
angle's like. Yeah, this is. Yeah, this is kind of nasty. That was terrible, and I say it was terrible just because, I mean, he missed his line by 3 feet. I mean, he was trying to hit the end rail, I think. Well, whether he was going straight to the one ball or trying to hit the end rail, either way, he was off by 3 feet. You guys can do that all day with me on a real pool table. I'm up for that. Matter of fact, I'll one stroke every shot against you guys. So I'll play double fast, in other words.
Well, this would be a sensational finish by Mr. Fox if he can get out of this hole.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, Fox has showed some heart coming back, but you know, the unfortunately the true meaning of heart isn't coming back. The true meaning of heart is coming back and winning.
Yeah.
And he struggled some this rack. He hasn't been as good this rack, and you know, but all will be good if he can put off a big run here and figure out how to win this match. I mean, he is still definitely in this thing.
I mean, I think I'm going to harp back to the fact that Monster's been putting in practice. He was practicing today. Albie's been putting in practice, and the two opponents haven't really been bothered. They've just been turning up to play the game and hoping it all falls together and they're in a rhythm and whatever.
Well, the thing is, Bedhead, that's all I got. You know, unless I'm going to spend a few months practice at VP4, it's like kind of a non-starter. Well, as long as Fox stays at the table, he can't lose.
Yeah.
And that's got to be his goal here, is to stay at the table.
Well, there's no alarm bells yet. I mean, he's still in 63, so he's still 30 down.
Not quite sure why he's following this. So there we go. Okay. He just hadn't moved the Q-tip down. Well, you know, I mean, if he can get into the 90s, we've seen KrazyKow go moo before. And, you know, I think mentally he's susceptible. If Fox can put some heat on him, he might be able to win this match.
Well, this should be fairly easy. You just draw back off the 3 ball, pot the 3, and leave a 5-3. Well, you don't need to draw it back as far as that.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have left that more open. That way it doesn't test your nerve.
Well, he likes to go forward.
Yeah. See, well, there you go. There's your answer to that. If he'd done what I said, he'd have been laughing.
No, I agree with you. I would definitely play
I would have left it more open.
Differently.
Yeah, more open, and then you can see everything, and you don't have to start taking these long distance force follows, and thereby ends a run in 30.
he's going to run off the 3, which is okay. It's just, you got to watch out making the 1. Okay.
Well, he's got to be brave here. He's got to run the cue ball to the 1. I mean, this is crying out for a 3-railer. This is meat. This is meat and drink to me. This is like putting the bait down for me because I'm going for this every day of the week.
He's not going 3 rails. Well, he's going 4 rails.
Oh, I thought he was going to scratch. Oh, wrong button.
No, it was going to be hard to scratch coming off around the back of it. If he actually played it that way, then I would applaud that because, yeah.
You could do it. You could do a little bump here.
Yep, he's good.
Oh, this is a feather edge, and he doesn't want. I mean, what's the odds of him catching this and potting the 3? No, he's fine.
Yeah, it would have been better if we went past it, because if we went past it, he could have feathered back. But he's still okay. Let's see how long he can milk this. He can milk it all the way to 100. That would be nice. It's not looking like it. But he can get the 1 over by the 5.
Oh,
there we go again, going too low on the cue ball. How many times have we seen that? And he misses it on the. Oh God, that's so. He misses it on the small side of the ball.
Oh,
why not play to go to the rail? And because you've got the ball so much bigger there.
Mr. Fox survives again. But I think this is last chance saloon to get to 90.
Well, I don't know. It may not be last chance, but he better play like it's his last chance.
Well, he better play where he's knowing when to wind it in and try and leave things. If he gets to a situation where he's worried about the 1 ball, he has to be careful in what he's doing. The 3 ball's not handy where it's sat. That's the biggest problem.
Well, you're right, Bedhead. I should play more VP4. Although right now I need to spend my computer time working on it. All right. Well, he's going to have to do something there.
Here we go with the old draw.
He's going to do the old draw shot here.
So easy to miss these. Now, if that 5 ball had slowed up, he would have been bumping the 3 out. It's ran back to its spot. So again,
you can bump the 3 right.
Oh, here. Mind you, he's on a pot. I'm forgetting he's on a pot.
Yeah, well, he can bump the 3 here if he wants to. He's going to play for shape on the carom.
This will get it in play.
Yeah, and he can bump the 3 possibly. Yeah, maybe not.
No, he's going the other way. I'm surprised he didn't try to get the 3 out. That would have been my first priority, to get that 3 ball off the rail. I think he's regretting he didn't move that 3 when he had the chance there. Now he's dodgy again. Look at what he's left himself again. I mean,
he can shoot at the 3 right now.
No, he's going 1-5. He's going for his long force follow again.
Yeah.
Just catches it. So now he's got to watch the arithmetic here. He's on 83. Now does he want to run the cue ball and try a bump off the 1 onto the 3 while he pots the 1? Is he going to be brave? This is a numpty shot, this, because you go for it and then you end up scratching. I'd be trying to bump it. Well,
I don't see how you're going to scratch.
Because I'd be spinning the cue ball and trying to get into that 3 and find a hole somewhere. That knowing my luck.
Oh, you mean hit it hard?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's on the 5. He's going to get to 90. Oh, I'm sorry, he's not on a pot.
Well, the 5 ball avoids the pot, and now
that would have been disaster.
Now it's a really, really dodgy thin carom. I'd be going off the end rail here and kicking the 2 of them. That's what I'd be doing. Oh, it's a pot now. That's the problem. He's scuppered. He's on a pot, and he's gone to 91. So there you go.
Well, and he's going to need some help from KrazyKow. I mean, this is not a good situation.
That's the fat lady singing. See, again, the 3 ball's still stuck there. That could have been moved 20 minutes ago.
Well, and KrazyKow just gives it right back. It was a tricky situation.
Well,
I don't like playing the draw
I don't
shot
think
there.
Fox's chances here are any good unless he moves that 3 ball. And now he can move the 3 ball. Is he going to go for the 1 again? I think he'll be worried about catching the tit here.
He's had so many chances to move that 3 ball.
Oh, watch the 5. Now he's got a chance. Now he's got to either decide on what sort of pace he's doing. Is he trying to cut the 3 to rail, bank it over towards the 5? No. No, what am I talking about? I forgot he lost his points. Forget it. I'm still not at my dinner yet, guys.
Well, that 1 ball thought twice about going in.
Well, this isn't a dinner now. It's a supper at this time of night.
Watch out. Watch out. Oh, boy.
Well, he's set up for the next carom, no problem. As long as he doesn't finish dead straight on it.
Yeah.
That's, 77?
He's trying to get dead straight.
He did his best.
Yeah, but this is easy. Thin cut with left. Got to make sure you overcut the 3. You don't want to hit the 5 with it. Yep. There we go. And it looks like he's going to get back to 90.
He's got to run into the 3 here, as you know, to get it moving. He's coming back. He might pot the 3 as well as the 5 here if he goes forward.
No, that's too
There's
tough.
the cue ball going.
Where is he going?
Oh, wow. I thought that was
what the heck is he doing?
I jumped the gun there. I thought he was scratching. Oh dear.
And he brought the chimp out prematurely.
Get him back in his cage.
Premature chimpanzee.
Yeah, he's got it.
Oh man. Well, here we go again, and I think Fox has got to do more than 90 because he's got to get into the mid 90s.
Here we are.
I mean, KrazyKow didn't do much last time, but he didn't have the simplest situation either.
Well, just as well that 5 ran into the 3 there. Take the pace off it. But again, it's going to be another long force follow. I don't think there's much doubt about that. What am I talking about? He's an 88, isn't he? He's got to get the pot.
Yama would probably just go 2 rails there into the 1. It's another half ball hit.
No, he's got to pot the 1. He's on a pot, isn't he?
He's on a pot. Yeah.
And he's overcut it.
Well, okay, this could be the end of things if this gets in a good spot here. Yeah, I think he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he didn't want to do that.
Oh.
Well, he's just made it a little bit tougher. He can play a 2 railer to the 1, although that's a little tricky. He's going to have to really open it up.
He's trying to get to the rail and come in behind the 1. He's looking at that option now.
I think he can follow to this 3 ball. He can get the 5 around the 3.
I think he's playing 5 to 1 here. The angle he's on the 5 at. Yeah, he's got it. Needs to watch the 5 doesn't bump the 1, which it hasn't done. Takes him to 99.
Now let's see where he puts this 1 ball. I mean, he definitely doesn't want to hit this easy if he's playing off the 1 because he doesn't want to get stuck on that 3 ball.
Uh-oh. Hang on a minute.
Like that.
Hang on a minute. I think he's okay.
He's okay.
Top corner pocket.
I would have hit that harder just to make sure you couldn't hook yourself. And I think he's going to make this too.
Oh, no, he isn't. Pox lives again, but he's still an 88.
And he put English on that shot, and I can understand the help in English a little bit there. It's going to help spin it in, but at that distance, I wouldn't have put an English on it. It was a bit more important to get the line when you're that far away.
Well, the good thing is, potting the one's fine. It's coming in the spot, and the 5 and 3 are adjacent, and he's overcut it, and that's I'll tell you what that is. Where is he?
Where's the fat lady? How come you don't have a fat lady button? Where's the fat lady? You need a fat lady that sings.
Hasta la vista time.
You could have pressed the fat lady button.
There's no way he's missing this.
And there we go. Well, it did turn into a good match. We got to see a nice match, so that was good.
Well,
Fantastic Fox showed some heart. Didn't get all the way there.
Well,
and,
he stayed in it.
Congratulations to KrazyKow for getting out of goofy mode and coming back and winning that, because he wasn't looking good there for a while.
Well, he's fallen over the line. He survived, and that's all you're really trying to do at the end of the day. It might be called winning ugly, but he's through.
He is through, and hopefully he's going to go practice a bunch.
Well, he will practice. He is putting practice in, no doubt about that. Now, he's up against Slim, who, if Monster was watching the match with him and Albinaria last night, I don't think Monster's got much to worry about.
Yeah, but I'm sure he knows how well Slim can play this game. Slim played a terrible match against Alvin, and I'm sure he understands that's not going to be an easy match.
Well, I think it's going to take the same pattern. I think Slim's not bothered about practicing. He's just going to show up, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it's probably more likely not to work. Then Monster is still favourite getting to the carom, so that's who he's going to play next. They've got until the 5th of January to arrange their one-loss side matches, as has Tommy and Interchange X. Of course,
No, it's January 2nd.
No, it isn't. It's January the 5th, according to my screen. Oh no, you're right enough. I'm reading the 5th position. That's what I'm reading. Apologies for that. Yes, you're correct. So the only difference we have here is there's at least a 6-hour time difference between Tommy and Interchange X. If Interchange X is East Coast, if not, it's 9 hours or something along those lines. So there might be an issue there getting their match set up.
They've got 6 days. They'll get their match set up.
Well, when you think about it, it depends whether they're going to wait for the new year or whatever. But they're going to have days off.
Interchange X can just tell his secretary, "Hey, I'm booking an appointment for 3 hours. So I've got this remote with German guy that needs a lot of help."
Well, we have a hot seat match, which is the match between Albinario and Cobra, and they have until January the 7th to play that match. So all now hinges on these one-loss side matches getting taking place, obviously, before theirs.
I think they ought to play it hungover on January 1st.
Yeah.
I play an early morning match January 1st when they're hungover.
I'm still saying it's going to be Albinario Cobra in the final. I think any of these guys in the one-loss side have got to be more consistent, score heavier on their visits so that they're punishing their opponent. It's not happening often enough and regular enough for many of these other guys. That's the problem they've got. Because the problem is that even when Albinario or Cobra comes over to this one-loss side, it's going to be a tall order for them to be consistent enough and long enough in each rack to actually put them under pressure, whoever it is.
I agree, and they've all shown. Well, I haven't seen that of Tommy, but the other 3 I've seen goofy syndrome. So that's another thing is that you can't afford to go goofy against Albin or Cobra.
Well, there's nobody wants to be proved wrong more than I do. I'm just trying to goad these guys into stepping up the game because they're going to have to. What we've seen in these last couple of matches is not good enough to win this tournament. Not when you consider what's in that winner's side, and one of them's coming over to meet them.
Well, VP Monster's been working hard, and maybe that will pay off. I mean, you can't put a timetable on it, but you don't you don't build a mansion in one day. You do it brick by brick, and he's been laying a lot of brick lately. The question is is he going to get to the point where he starts playing a little more solid? And nobody knows that, but it could happen.
Well, these remaining guys have got that opportunity. What I would say also is that Monster's not played anything you would say is well, he would say he's not played good in this. I think he's had one match where he's put some runs together, but he's not done that often enough. And if he plays good, if he starts potting balls and stringing the runs together, then he's going to be dangerous. At the moment, he's not dangerous, and neither are the other guys because they're not consistent enough. Slim, from his performance last night, is probably the outsider in who's left in the tournament. Tommy's been consistent in the matches I've seen him in, but is it good enough to beat Cobra? Well, that's where you've got to have the doubts. Cobra, if you're missing and Cobra's getting in and he's getting 15-60 and you're not responding, then, forget your chances. They're slim to zero because Cobra's going to be doing it.
Interchange X has got a chance too. I mean, I'm a fan of his, and I think he's struggled, but
yeah, he's had the odd nightmare along the route as well.
Yeah, I know he can play better than I know he can play better. It's just a question of who's going to step up and play better. And you got 4 guys there, and the guy that's going to end up at least getting through to the finals of the losers bracket is going to be the guy that kind of figures that out.
Well, whoever it is, if there's anybody that's in this one-loss side at the moment is going to win this tournament, then they've got to pull off a surprise win in a race. It's a race to 3, but the final's a race to 4. Are they going to be good enough, long enough to get to 4 racks before either Albinario or Cobra?
Well, first they got to get in the finals. They've got to win 3 more matches to get in the finals.
Well,
so they've got a long ways to go.
Put it this way: if they're listening to me and thinking about what I'm thinking, then they're probably thinking, "Yeah, you're right enough. I've got no chance." So don't listen to me. I'm just thinking for the sake of the tournament.
You never know. It's gonna you're gonna have to beat 2 really good players. But I think that Cobra is a little bit vulnerable because this is definitely not his best game.
Yeah,
I don't think it's Albin's best game either. I think Albin's still the most dangerous guy. But you play Cobra in the finals of the losers, and Cobra doesn't play as good, and you play real good, and you beat him, and then you got who knows what can happen once you get to finals. Anything could happen. So.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying it's going to be Albin in the finals either, because it could be Cobra. There's nothing that says that Albin's going to beat Cobra in this match.
This is going to be a grudge match between these two, so it is. It definitely is.
Yeah, it's just got to come to that match ready to play.
Right, I've got this to show you before we finish up, Steve. I don't think you've seen it. Hang on a minute, where is it? I think it's that one.
Thanks for watching, Gloria. What runs of 2023? Obviously, you've been busy.
A chimpanzee for 2023. Right.
You're a nut here.
Well, guys, I think everybody's got bored and gone home anyway and gone for coffee and whatever. I'm going to head for my dinner. So that is the conclusion of our match today. Well, at least we had a match. I thought it was heading badly in the direction of the Slim match last night, but
you got to give Fox a lot of credit for hanging in there.
He was given enough opportunities to get there, and he could have won it in the end. It could have went anyway at the end if he'd got himself into gear in the carms. But anyway, congratulations to Monster. He's through. He survives. he's won ugly, and he's still in the tournament, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Well done to Fox for getting as far as he got, and good luck for the remaining guys in the tournament. Not many left now. So thanks to Steve for joining us. Thanks to everybody for watching. If we don't see you again now till the new year, we'll have a good one. And take care, and we'll see you again soon.
Yep. Good night, guys.
Good night.
You.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.